Michael, Avengers Endgame is right around the corner. It's coming up. It's bearing down on us. We're all looking down the barrel. Apparently, it's like the most pre-ordered movie ticket movie of all time, which I honestly don't understand. Like, I mean, if you want to go see it on the first day, great. I'll wait like literally 30 hours and I'll just go walk into a theater and see it. But that means that this week, the Rage Select podcast is all about DC movies. Oh, I flipped the script. That's right. Welcome back to DC Rage Select podcast. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Shazam.
There you go. I'm Aquaman, and this is Shazam. And we're going to talk about that new Joker trailer.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to see Shazam. I watched Aquaman last night, and then DC released a trailer for this new weird Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. So let's jump in. You got a Green Lantern shirt on. I'm wearing a black shirt, much like Batman does when he's Bruce Wayne. So
exactly.
You know, I'm a rich Playboy millionaire, much like Bruce Wayne. Let's get down. Let's see what's going on. So, okay. Before we start, I want to say that like what we're going to be talking about here, all three of these things, to me represent something fascinating.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's fascinating that they gave the DC universe to Zack Snyder, and he fucked it up so hard that then they just kind of threw their hands up and they were like, whatever, I guess. Like, whatever anybody wants to do now. Like, we're not shooting for Avengers 2 here. We're just trying to make like any amount of money and not fuck this shit up terribly.
We don't want Avengers money anymore. We just want money.
Right. Because, Suicide Squad, that movie's like, what, 2 years old?
Yeah.
And like it had a Joker, a continuity Joker in it. And now we've got this new trailer for, I mean, like, let's also be honest here. This could be like any movie that has Joaquin Phoenix in it that's come out in the last 2 or 3 years.
It really could be. It could be a sequel to any one of his films that he's made.
I watched You Were Never Really There or whatever, last year. This could totally be that movie, except with more clown makeup. This is strange, and I'm kind of really excited for it.
I am fascinated by this fucking movie
because it doesn't seem to be like it's so far beyond what we think of as like a superhero movie. Like probably the closest thing that I could think of to maybe compare it to would be like Super, maybe. Even that's not really quite right, but like Joaquin Phoenix playing like a fucked up guy who looks like he's just like. And what's so weird is that is there even like at this point is there even a 100% continuity Joker origin story?
No, the gag about Joker's origin is it's multiple choice.
Right. Because I mean you've got the
Killing Joke origin.
Killing Joke, right?
This is the most popular one.
Yeah. And then I mean I guess there's just like the Dark Knight like the movie Dark Knight.
Yeah.
You want to know? I got these scars, kind of thing. Where it's like
scars thing.
Who knows? There's,
whether or not he was the Red Hood before,
right?
Kind of thing.
Yeah, but this doesn't seem like okay. Listen, outside of him dressed up like a clown in a purple suit, I don't see anything in this trailer that seems even remotely superhero related.
Well, it says Arkham at one point,
right?
And that's like the one other fucking thing.
But then, like from there, it's like it's Arkham State Hospital, and then it shows him just like. In an elevator with a crazy person, like it could be anything. Like if
this could be in New York, this literally could be any other fucking movie.
If you took out probably just the scenes at the very end of him in the purple coat with the green hair, like this could just be called like A Bad Day Tomorrow, starring Joaquin Phoenix, like something
crazy as shit like that.
Yeah, and it would actually kind of be interesting if it was like a stealth Joker movie.
It's like an art film, and it's crazy to me that such a thing exists.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, like I don't know. It's so fascinating to me. And this also might be I don't entirely agree with him, but there's this YouTuber named Patrick Willems that put out this 3-part series about like how the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it all kind of looks the same and feels the same, and how they don't really go out on that many limbs because they've got to like fit this stuff into continuity. And I don't entirely agree with that, but this I don't know, like if the next, Ant-Man movie looked like this, was like Martin Scorsese's Ant-Man, and it's like a heist movie with some weird shit, I would be into that. Like, it's kind of interesting to see something so dramatically different and from this trailer so it seems like sure of itself, like sure of what it wants to be.
Yeah.
And even when they show him in the kind of Joker costume, it's interesting because it's like it's not the same. Like the purple is off. It's like a 70s bad looking purple. The clown makeup looks kind of bad, like in a way that's almost more threatening because you've got this kind of hulking weirdo Joaquin Phoenix walking around, and he looks just strange. Like, and it's so different from the way that he looked in Suicide Squad, where it was all like trendy and like rap culture, and I've got a grill and tattoos.
It says damaged on his forehead.
Right. And
This Joker, fucking, oh my God. Like, everything about this trailer, it's like I said, it's an art movie that DC gave money to.
Yep.
And they were like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. And they were just cool with it.
Yep. Because I feel like at this point they were like, well, we tried to do Marvel and we failed. And I like to just say directly to DC that I feel like the problem was Zack Snyder. Like it wasn't
100% Zack Snyder.
You could have done it, but you gave some of the most beloved superheroes of all time to a man who hates superheroes.
He's a maniac
with a passion. And so, yeah, I'm super excited for this.
I'm fascinated by like the most interesting thing DC could have ever done is just go, yeah, whatever you want. I don't care anymore.
Like I feel like the sequel to this is like he meets Harley Quinn, but it's like Girl Interrupted, directed by Quentin Tarantino, where they're like in a diner talking for 45 minutes.
Maybe that's who Zazie Beetz is supposed to be. I don't fucking know.
It's a good
this
question.
Movie's fucking crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird, and I kind of love it.
When they announced it, I was like, "There's no way this is real."
Yeah,
there's a whole trailer now.
Yep.
This is a real thing that DC did.
Yep, and it just looks so bizarre. Go watch the trailer. It looks so bizarre. And you know what? And so here's the thing. It couldn't be more opposite than Aquaman that I just got finished watching.
Yeah.
Where Aquaman is like every scene is full of underwater CGI and everybody's wearing skin-tight costumes with, scales on them, and there's CGI sharks that are going around, and Black Manta is trying to avenge his pirate father, and like it just couldn't. It's like the exact opposite. Like this movie would come out in like 4 theaters. You'd have to go to an art place to see it. And Aquaman is like, showing on 45 screens this weekend in IMAX triple 3D. Like
the thing is, this movie is what it is. It's what I feel like Zack Snyder thought he was making.
Yes,
it's a deconstruction of heroes and villains.
Mm-hmm.
But he also like loved jacking off to as much CG as possible. Whereas this is like, we don't need any of that shit.
Yeah, we can just fucking put Joaquin Phoenix in a weird suit and he's going to just go crazy.
Yeah, for all we know, they gave Joaquin Phoenix a suit and some makeup and then just started recording.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's interesting. This, though, is really interesting because it's like, I feel like it falls on a weird spectrum. It's like you've got Zack Snyder Batman, and then you've got like Christopher Nolan Batman, and then you've got like Gotham, and then it's like, way down further past that is where we are with this Joker movie.
It's fucking crazy as shit, and I am so fucking excited because I have no idea when this is supposed to take place either.
Yeah,
like this movie is batshit insane.
Yeah, it's also interesting because it like so much of the time, the Joker's character is like has this weird love affair with Batman, and this just seems like it. I don't see any signs of any Bat stuff going on.
See, I have a theory that kid is Bruce Wayne.
Oh, the little kid that he's making him smile or whatever.
Yeah, like I feel like his parents probably got killed, and he went over there to cheer him up. That's my thought.
I don't know. Anyway, I also watched Aquaman. Aquaman's okay. It's a little long. I feel like it gets a little unfocused, but it's not. But it was better than Justice League. Probably my favorite of the DC movies that I've seen so far. It was just. Actually, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I kind of wish that Thor was like this, like the original Thor, that it wasn't about him like learning a lesson. It was about like, I don't want to be the king of Asgard. No, get out of here, Dad.
No, he was learning the lesson of wanting to bang Padme.
That's right. That's right.
That's what the lesson was.
So yeah, Aquaman's worth checking out, especially now that it's like down to rental status. Like it's totally just a sitting around drinking beer, eating popcorn kind of thing. And then you saw Shazam last week.
Yeah, I saw Shazam last week.
And how was that?
I liked it a lot. It's actually my favorite of the new DC films.
Okay.
Or actually of all of the DC films.
Now, is it a comedy? Is it is it Big meets Superman? Is that what we're looking at here?
It's partially that, but
Okay.
it's very much feels closer to a Marvelish type film.
All right.
Because it's willing to have fun.
Yeah.
It has a lot of dark ass moments though.
Okay.
Like just random. Like the beginning is like Savannah's kind of origin.
Oh, right.
Like he caused like a car accident that paralyzes his dad and shit. It's like kind of dark. But then it goes into like happy good times, and it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I noticed in Aquaman there was a lot of people getting like stabbed and like eaten by sharks and just straight up murdered.
Yeah, there's a lot of just straight up murder. Like there's a sequence where Savannah like murders like an entire boardroom, and you're just like, that was dark as fuck. Back to Shazam trying to buy beer.
Right.
Like I was like, what's happening here? But like I enjoyed it because it was trying to have fun with the idea of what happens if you give a 15-year-old the power of like just superpowers
To be an adult.
and also the ability to be an adult. And they're just like fucking around the whole time for the first chunk of it. They're like, yeah, what can you do? And he's just like testing all his shit, and they're like, but can you buy beer? And he's like, huh. Like shit like that. Like I think one of my favorite sequences is when he discovers he's bulletproof.
Oh.
Because they're so fucking giddy about it.
Yeah.
Like they let the robber shoot him multiple times just to be sure. Like, well, it might be the suit. Shoot him in the face. Well, can't shoot me in the face.
Okay. Sounds worth it. So yeah, who knows? Maybe like Marvel's kind of wrapping up their whole thing, and then like DC's just gone crazy.
It's the age of DC. They're willing to just go for it.
Yeah, now, like, listen. Please don't make me regret this, DC. But like, what I'm really hoping is, can we just get a good Superman movie? Can we just get a good Superman movie that was not made by Zack Snyder? Do you know how many good Batman movies there are? There's a lot of good Batman movies, but like, there's like 2 good Superman movies, Superman 1 and Superman 2.
How many fucking like Batman movies were made in the past like 20 years? It's like Batman Returns, Batman Forever.
Well, you got the Nolan trilogy, BVS, and then Tim Burton's 2. That's 6.
Yeah, because there's the Tim Burton Justice League, or Tim Burton's both of them, the Batman Forever and Robin. The Nolans.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Batman Forever, and then the other one with the the Riddler one, and then there was the Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that's
one,
what the
right?
Robin. Forever and Returns.
That's 8. I
Forever
think.
and Robin, and then there's Justice League, so that's like 8. They've made 8,
9. I think it's 9.
like 8ish,
actually.
9ish fucking Batman movies in the past 20 years.
Yep.
We got 2 Superman movies in the past 20 years.
Don't forget about what's his face, the Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor.
That's what I mean. Those were 2 of them in the past 20, or no, 3 of them.
So then you've got that one.
Oh, actually 4, I guess, because of Justice League?
Mm-hmm, you got that one. You've got Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League.
Because you have Superman Returns, Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League. It's the 4 of them.
But they're none of them,
and none of them are good.
None of them are very good.
None of them are very good.
Like Justice League is the best one, and I love Superman, and I want you to just make a Superman story for fuck's sake.
It's very frustrating.
Bring in Brainiac, let him bash on each other. People, Superman's invincible. There's nothing. No. Bring in Darkseid. Let Darkseid. You set up Darkseid. Just bring in Darkseid. Let him smile. Bring in anybody. You know as well as I do.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people that can punch Superman in the face. You could bring in Cyborg, Hank Henshaw. You could bring in Mongol. You could bring in
so many fucking people.
Doomsday. I mean, you already had it, but fuck it. You're just the Joker's completely different now. Just bring Doomsday back. You could bring in any number. You could you know what? If your problem is having Superman be too powerful, make a Mr. Mitsplittle movie, and then get some arty motherfucker to go direct it for you.
I'd watch that only if they get Gilbert Gottfried to be Mitchell Spitlick again.
Okay. Well, anyway, we have probably wasted too much time heaping praise somehow on the DC movies.
Good for them.
We have a lot of news to go over this week, but some of this is just kind of going to be saying stuff. Now, before we get into anything actual, we did have April Fools, and there were a few different April Fools gaming things that happened. Most of them were I mean, like, the problem is that the world we live in is so bizarre. Somebody said that thing where it was like what somebody's Jim Carrey is beefing with the Mussolini estate.
Oh, yeah.
And Elon Musk dropped a Harambe rap before April Fools.
Yeah, it was all real.
Yeah.
All of it was real.
So, anyway, here are some of the better ones that we got. There was a Conan one. That's I don't know. Most of these are bad. Like, oh, Payday's got a battle royale mode. Ha ha ha! And it's like, well, that could probably actually happen.
I think my favorite was the For Honor one.
I like the turn-based Yakuza.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty
one
cool.
that was all right. There's some Elder Scrolls Kaji cosplay outfits for your cat that you could literally put on your cat. Yeah, most of them. The Rabbids in For Honor.
I thought that one was fun.
That's pretty good. That had a full Sniper Elite where it's the main character and the gun dating simulator. That one was pretty good. I liked the Corsair game launcher. I don't know if you saw that
I did
one.
not.
Where it was like, yes, Corsair will now put all of your game launchers into one application. And I like the part where they're like, if you want to chat, just hit Shift Tab and it'll bring up all 15 of the different chat windows of your friends list. And it's like, when people come online, you get to see notifications when they come onto every individual service, and it's just all these notifications coming up.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a lame April Fool's this year.
Yeah, I didn't really hear a lot of them.
Yeah, Platinum was making a game that was just like their CEO. I don't know. Anyway, you know what? It's nothing really to talk about there, but I'll tell you what, there is a lot to talk about for the second week in a row is Borderlands. So last week we got the Borderlands 3 announcement trailer, which I was a little hard on. I feel like I've gone back to Borderlands this week, and I'm remember that I used to like Borderlands a little bit more.
Borderlands was a very popular game at the time, and Randy Pitchford was making all of the money.
Yeah,
I feel like Randy Pitchford ran out of beer money, and he was like, Borderlands 3, in case of beer money, and he smashed it.
I don't like Randy Pitchford. I do.
No
like
one should like Randy
Borderlands.
Pitchford.
But anyway, we got a few different things this week. We got a brand new trailer that showed the 4 new main characters. Which are Mose, Flack, Amara, and then Zane.
And Billy Zane.
And Billy Zane. Listen to your friend Billy Zane. So, there still wasn't a whole hell of a lot of information in this particular trailer. It was mostly just trying to flash Borderlands shit in your face as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah.
I think I need to see somebody play this game, to know how different it is from Borderlands, because I went back to Borderlands 2, and it was like, this is okay. This just looks like a lot more of the same. The other thing I realized is that I think I forgot the entire story for Borderlands.
I remember chunks of it, because I remember Borderlands 1 is it's about vault hunters finding the mystical, ultimate vault. And then the twist is that the vault had a crazy monster, and that was actually Legend was designed to get the baddest ass motherfuckers to murder it.
Yeah.
And then Borderlands 2 is Handsome Jack is a giant prick, and he's funny as shit, but you got to murder the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I never played the pre-sequel or the Telltale one, but apparently the Telltale character is
it was also in Borderlands 3. So I don't know. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I've softened a little since last week. I'm like, okay, Borderlands, maybe I'll give you a shot and see what's going on. But we got, in addition to that trailer, we got a release date, which is going to be September, I believe, September 13th.
Yes.
And we got a platform announcement. Epic Game Store PC exclusive.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure it comes as a surprise to nobody. Guess what happened next? Gamers were very happy and nothing happened. They were all very easygoing and sat back in their chairs. And we're like, yeah, that's not what
That's
happened.
not what happened. I was at work and I had a full conversation about this with somebody.
Yep.
And they were just like, I'm not going to get it. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Okay, so let's talk about it. Okay, 6 months exclusivity deal on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
On PC only. We talked last week at length about this, and I'm going to stay the same place. I haven't softened at all about my opinion last week, and my opinion is that I do not think that Epic are saints. I do not think the Epic Game Store is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I do think that somebody needs to make Steam try.
Yeah.
That Steam won't do anything unless there's somebody there to eat their lunch. And if there's somebody there to eat their lunch, then they will fight back and try to make their service better instead of basically just sitting back with Gabe Newell's hands behind his head and his feet up on the desk for fucking decades, just going cash them checks, baby.
It's a huge get, too. And
yep.
I think my favorite is the reactions of the other side of the internet,
Yeah.
which are the console gamers, because they're laughing so fucking hard because they're just like, oh,
PC Master Race, how does it feel?
they're like, oh, I thought you were the master race. If only there was some sort of console I could just buy my games for and not have to deal with this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but basically that's what I like. I don't think that Epic is the golden god sent from heaven, but I just like Steam has proven that they will not attempt to do anything with their service if you leave them alone. They will not do anything out of the goodness of their hearts. They will do it if they have to try to get your money or try to seduce like developers to be on their platform. Then they might change the split or do whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Part of it's a knee-jerk reaction, as well as there's a lot of like rumors of the service itself that keeps going around.
Yeah.
About the since it's like partly owned by a Chinese company or something.
Tencent, yeah.
People are like, there's malware all over this thing. It's just like, well, that's just a rumor. Like, you're just spreading stuff right now.
I mean, there's some of that has been is not a rumor. Like, some of it is that it does have executables that are running in the background that apparently like spidering like certain game things, and then we know because they literally admitted that that it will go and grab your Steam friends list and encrypt it and
but I mean like much more like malicious things,
right?
Like, because Steam is running a billion things in the background on your computer all the time. Like, it's just like they're reacting like as if the things they have don't already do what it's doing currently, I guess.
Yeah,
is the way of putting it. But I don't know. It's another launcher, and like I said, I'm a console gamer, so I don't really care.
I mean, the thing is that I just again okay. The other argument that I will concede to is that it's not like at this point we all know that it's not like these developers are putting these games out exclusively to Epic's game store out of the goodness of their heart.
Yeah,
Epic is paying them to do so. But on the other hand, like, you have to have somebody with enough clout to be able to be a competitor to Steam, because Steam is so entrenched. Like, Jim Sterling made a really good point, right? Where he said, if it really was may the best man win, right? Then GOG Galaxy should be beating the fuck out of Steam, because it's like a better piece of software, no DRM, no always online. You know, like, there's a lot of stuff in GOG Galaxy that is great.
Yeah.
And yet Steam still eats their lunch because they're like the big dog. And if you're going to bring it down the big dog, I don't think anybody was just going to be like, well, we made a better client, and then now we're hoping that gamers will come over here and that developers will start publishing their AAA games on our weird underdog platform and not Steam. Like, it was going to take somebody playing this game with shitloads of money to make something like this happen. But
yeah, Randy Pitchford threw 2K under the bus with all the people who are mad about it too.
Yeah,
that's what I think is funny. It's like, oh, it's not up to me, it's up to 2K Games. It's like, you fucker.
Shut up, Randy Pitchford. Just shut your mouth. So, I mean, it seems like it might have... so, anyway, the review bombing happened over on Steam of Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. It seems like Valve might have got it sorted. They had a whole thing where they were talking about... they're trying to keep people from being able to do this shit of review bombing a game. But... I don't know. Also, I just went to the Borderlands 2, and there's an ASCII double middle fingers with Epic Store in the middle.
It's kind of impressive.
You know, but here's the thing. Listen, this is not what gamers want to hear, but it's a thing I've said for a long time, right?
Yeah.
If you don't want Borderlands 3 on the Epic Game Store, then you must wait for 6 months and buy it on Steam. Do not buy it on the Epic Game Store, no matter how much you want to play it. The only way that companies will understand this stuff is you have to stop giving your money to them. Like, you're not just going to be like, sir, how do people feel about Borderlands? Like, well, Reddit doesn't like it. It's like, oh shit. Well, cancel the deal. Put it back on Steam. Like, nobody's going to care about YouTube videos or bad comments or review bombing their games on Steam. Hell, Borderlands 2's been out for fucking ever. Like, you're not doing them. I mean, like, they just released Borderlands Remastered for the PS4 and the Xbox One, but I think that update was just an update to the existing Borderlands Game of the Year edition on Steam. So Anyway, I mean, like, I understand. Look, I understand it's a pain in the ass, and I don't fucking like it. On the other hand, I want Steam to get better, and apparently they won't do it unless somebody is shoving hot pokers into.
They've made so many like changes within just this time frame. It's obvious that this is working.
They changed the revenue distribution.
Yeah.
Like they finally did that after years of. It's like it is exactly like, I know I'm repeating myself, but it is this bears repeating. It is exactly like what happened when PlayStation put out PlayStation Plus, and then started giving away free games.
Yeah.
And like how the Xbox Gold, Xbox Live was a fucking sucker service for years where they just straight up lied, telling you that they had to charge for multiplayer. Michael, they got to charge for multiplayer. We can't afford to keep all these servers online. Microsoft, most like profitable company ever of all time. You got to give us $50 a year. You want to watch Netflix? You can't do that for free. What are you talking? This is crazy.
That shit was ridiculous.
And then PlayStation's like, I mean, you can do it over here for free. And they're like, oh, hey, look, we found a bunch of ways to do it for free over here. Like competition is good. And unfortunately, with somebody like Steam, like when the Xbox came out, it took a company like Microsoft to shake up it took a company like Sony to shake up the Nintendo Sega lockdown that was video games for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they came in and shook everything up. And then
and they murdered the Dreamcast.
They murdered the Dreamcast. And then
with its bare hands.
And then it took
DVD
Microsoft, and it took, I mean, like, you can make an argument that like the original Xbox was like, I mean, it didn't exactly fly off the shelves.
No.
Like it was definitely, most people that I knew.
It was hackable as fuck, though.
Most people that I knew just had it as like a Halo box, right?
Yeah.
It was like they just wanted to play Halo on it. Meanwhile, the PlayStation 2 was just jamming right along. But like, you know what? It took a company like Microsoft to be able to compete in that space. I think it's going to take a company like Epic to make Steam do anything.
It'll probably be the same thing with, the PS2. Well, the PS2 was doing great, and then when the PS3 came out, they made one mistake, really, and then Xbox jumped on that shit, and they've been doing fine ever since.
Yep. Well, up until they got cocky.
They did the exact same thing. They literally did the exact same fucking thing, by the way.
Yep. All right, let's roll down some of the rest of this. So, speaking of companies that are slowly digging their own grave, let's talk about Bethesda a little bit. So this week, apparently, Bethesda put out Blades, the Elder Scrolls phone game.
Oh, okay.
But it's like in early access, so everybody can download it. And you can play the tutorial on your phone, but then after the tutorial, it just boots you to a login screen. Unless you're part of the beta program, you can't go any further in the game. So, like,
okay,
I guess that's a weird way to do that, in my opinion. But like, question mark? I mean, I don't really know. Tell me, Michael, are you at all interested in playing Elder Scrolls Blades?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that outright. Unless it has Blade in it.
Oh,
and unless it's just a Wesley Snipes tax evasion.
No, that's
simulator.
Elder Scrolls Blade, not
okay.
Elder Scrolls Blades. Yeah, so that's weird. They do have a sign up for beta access, and I'm sure this shit. You know what? I'm sorry, I just realized this. I'm such a fucking dum-dum. Like, it's going to be, and it's out now at E3, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be part of their show, and they're going to say, and it's out now. Everybody go download it,
You can have Fallout skins. It'll be amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of E3 and Bethesda, so apparently neither Starfield nor Elder Scrolls 6 will be at all represented from Bethesda at E3 this year.
It's good for them to get that out now, though.
Oh, yes, because I remember last year with Fallout 76 where people were like, oh no. That does beg the question, like, what exactly are we going to be looking at this year? So it'll be Blades, Rage 2, Doom Eternal,
maybe more Fallout 76 stuff.
Fallout 76 DLC, Elder Scrolls card game DLC, probably an Elder Scrolls Online DLC.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And then I guess the dark horses are like Evil Within 3, Prey 2.
That would be cool. I'd be cool with that.
Dishonored 3. Like, are we going to see any of those favorites or just some new shit? Fallout 5 tease? No, they can't do that. It would just kill 76.
Maybe they'll make another Prey, but based on the original Prey. That'd be funny.
No, motherfucker, do not taunt me. Because the year that I went to E3 and went to Bethesda's motherfucking big dragon-headed booth when they were putting out Skyrim, and I sat there and watched the 35-minute stage presentation for Prey 2, the one where you're an intergalactic bounty hunter.
Oh, yeah,
like
that's
Assassin's
right.
Creed or whatever that Human Head was making, and I still want to play that motherfucking game. It looks so badass. It looks so badass. Anyway, speaking of E3, good news for you, good news for me. Apparently, Suda is teasing some more No More Heroes this year.
Oh yeah.
He was asked about it from at Silicon Era. I asked him, and he said, "quote I wonder." Asked him about the ending of Travis Strikes Again, which hints at more No More Heroes. I didn't play all the way to the end of
Please,
it.
yes.
And he said, quote, I wonder what that was myself. It might be Travis messing around. I hope around E3 I'll have something cool to announce.
Yes, please.
And he also tweeted just Ubisoft and their logo, and they were the publisher, I guess, for it. So, like, good news for you. I want Killer 8, but that's just me. That's probably never going to happen.
I'm all tingly now.
Yeah, Michael's just squirming around. He's ready to go.
I want some more No More Heroes in my veins like yesterday.
What? I mean, that would be what, the fourth or fifth? That would be the fifth No More Heroes game?
No, it's like the fourth.
Oh, okay. So there's one on the Wii.
Because there's one,
two
two.
on the Wii.
Yeah, it's 1, 2. Well, unless you count the re-releases of 1.
No, I don't. One on the two
So
on
it's
the
1,
Wii.
2, and there's
Then
2 on the
Travis
Wii,
Strikes
and then
Again.
Travis Strikes Again. That's
okay,
it.
so it'd be 4. Interesting.
Because I am so fucking. I want that game so goddamn hard. I beat 1 and 2 so many fucking times.
Did you play Travis Strikes Again?
I have not.
You can take my copy of it, motherfucker. Like
I absolutely will. 100 goddamn percent.
you know the rules. You just got to bring it back.
I will eventually.
So yeah. If you're into Suda 51, great. And how much? Well, no. Okay, wait a minute. Is it possible that Suda 51 is going to walk up on stage at Ubisoft's conference and announce a new No More Heroes game?
I don't know.
It seems like it would be a PC game show or Devolver Digital one, but like maybe.
Maybe he's gonna come up stage jacking it off on his Switch. You know.
Do you remember the year that you remember the first Devolver Digital thing where they had him like in teleconference?
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
just like, "Where the fuck am I? What am I talking about here? Who? What's Devolver Digital?" And it just like turns it off.
I love Devolver Digital stuff so much.
Me too.
I remember they got a bunch of like Let's Players to make like really bad like intros to their stuff.
Oh yeah.
That shit was amazing.
Yep. Speaking of amazing, it's been amazing how poorly Artifact has been doing for Valve recently.
To the shock of no one.
I think to the shock of Valve, I think that Valve was just like, I mean, it's a card game. It's a Dota card game. Like they just Mad Libs together the words that mean money in the video game industry, and then what they came out with just failed miserably.
The issue is that they should have said, "Don't you have phones?" at some point.
Yeah. So apparently they're going to be trying to rework Artifact. They're not going to be just throwing it away, but they're going to be trying to rework it, put it back together, make it into something that people want to play.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, the first thing you have to do, because you've put yourself in a horrible position, is make it free to play.
Yeah.
And then everybody that spent $20 on it, apparently at this point, you can buy every card in the game for $60.
Really?
Like you just go to the Valve store, and because nobody's playing the game, they're so low priced that you just buy all the cards. But apparently it has more problems than that. Like I was reading this article that was talking about people don't like how long it takes to play a game because you got all 3 of the boards to go through.
It's a lot of animations too.
Yeah. People don't like the entry price tag. People don't like how random events will turn a game, like that there's a lot of like chance-based stuff. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Valve should just scrap Artifact and either make Steam a good thing or just like put out Team Fortress 3. You idiots.
Or make a good game.
Or
like,
anything.
like,
anything.
If you guys go back and watch our video on it, you will tell 100% that I'm slowly trying not to fall asleep as it goes on.
Oh, yes. Yes,
It
yes,
is so obvious.
Yes.
Like I just start saying things after a while.
Yep. Speaking of Valve, Valve also has a teaser we saw this week for a new headset, a new VR headset called the Valve, or it just says Valve Index on this teaser page. The Vive is HTC, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like Valve wants to get into this. As a person who has watched Valve do hardware launches over the years, I am not filled with huge amounts of warm fuzzies. Like,
it's gonna be like a halfly made thing from a flea market with a picture of Gabe Newell on it.
yeah,
And it's gonna be like, there's your VR, and it's gonna be one of those old fucking Disney things where you click it and it changes pictures.
Oh, a ViewMaster?
Yeah, ViewMaster.
So we'll find out in May, but also one of the things I can see is that this does have cameras on the front. I have been waiting for somebody to make a VR headset where it's like it has a pass-through, so it can also be AR, or I was thinking a long time ago that if somebody put essentially the equivalent of a Kinect on the front of a VR headset, then you could just move your hand up into your viewpoint. And, the Kinect was able to, like, map your individual fingers, right? Not well, but
it tried.
It could. So if you could do that, then you wouldn't have to have a controller. You could just put on a headset, and then that camera on the front could essentially map your hand into the game to be doing stuff.
We could finally have something like the future tiny Elijah Wood said in 2015.
That's right. Let's see from there. Speaking of hardware, last week Sega decided that they're going to be getting in on the whole micro console thing by putting out the Sega Genesis Mini that will be coming out September 19th for $80. It's going to have 40 games. Those that have already been announced are Altered Beast, Castlevania Bloodlines, Comic Zone, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Echo the Dolphin, Gunstar Hero, Shining Force, Space Harrier 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Toe Jam and Earl. Now listen, y'all, I'm not that guy. I never have been. But I have a Raspberry Pi specifically in a Sega Genesis themed case.
Yeah, it looks just like that thing that's on the screen right now.
It doesn't have all the direct
Sega words on it,
but
you could fix that pretty easily.
This case, along with the Raspberry Pi inside and a thing, cost me about $80, which is about what this costs. Except that this can also play NES, Super NES, Mega Drive, Neo Geo, some PlayStation, MAME, like kind of anything.
But does it have Castlevania Bloodlines?
Yes, I've got every version of Castlevania Bloodlines that's ever been created on it. In fact, this one, I'm actually going to pimp this out, was made by a company called MegaPi. They actually make a case like this. They make one that looks like a Famicom. They make one that looks like a Super Nintendo.
Oh, cool.
This one is great, though, because it has an on-off switch, which the Pi doesn't have by default. And so you install a shutdown script so that when you hit off, it just literally runs. Because if you just pull the power on a Raspberry Pi, it will corrupt it.
Oh,
You have to shut it down first. And this one has a full-on switch and a reset button and a little light where the little Sega thing goes.
Neat.
But in any case, if you want to do this, it's going to be coming with 40 games. It's going to have 2 USB Genesis controllers. I like these little consoles. It'll be interesting to see whether how the interface is, because like one of the major problems, one of many of the problems with the PlayStation Classic was that the interface kind of sucked, and I don't know.
It was not great.
I need to go back and hack mine. That's the only reason I bought one, was because the day it came out, they were like, oh yeah, if you plug in a Corsair keyboard and hit escape, you just set it to PAL instead of NTSC or whatever.
It had so many things going for it right away.
Yep.
Hack-wise, I mean.
Well, also, like, it's not online, so it can't ever be updated. So, like, once they cracked it, it's done. Also, I think it was within, like, 2 or 3 weeks that Best Buy was selling those things for half price for $50 instead of $100.
They're still pretty cheap right now, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, they are. All right, let's see. More hardware news. Apparently Starlink, Battle for Atlas with the little spaceships toys thing, the Ubisoft game. Apparently the toys are selling pretty poorly for it. So moving forward, there's going to be some digital updates to the game, but there's not going to be any more like physical toys being made. So if you want a Starlink, which I got the R-Wing, I actually sent it to a person for a contest.
That's right.
The R-Wing, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty well made, but if you want one of those, probably a good idea to go snap one up now, because I get the feeling they're not going to be around all that much longer. Let's see. Speaking of Nintendo, Monolith put up a job posting today for somebody to work on a Legend of Zelda franchise game. So Monolith, they made Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
And apparently that they contributed some to Breath of the Wild's development, but apparently they're doing some kind of Zelda related project. I don't know. What do you think that's it wouldn't be like Hyrule Warriors 2.
It could be like
Breath of the Wild 2?
Well, it could be another remake.
Another remake of something?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a remake of Zelda 2, Link's Adventure.
You know what I want them to do? I want to put that Link Between Worlds on the Switch.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
Because that was a great game.
I still have mine.
That was a great game. Great 3DS game. Really, really solid. So, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing something at E3 this year.
Maybe we'll finally get a game where you get to use Zelda.
Where you get to play as Zelda?
Yeah, and you have to save Link.
You think?
It's like Donkey Kong Country 2.
I think that at this particular point, video game fans might just start literally eating each other. Like,
they absolutely would.
Just start murdering each other.
Which is why I want it to happen.
I don't know.
They'll put it on the Epic Store to make them explode.
I'm fine with that. Of course, I don't think that. You remember when they asked for Breath of the Wild why Zelda, like why you couldn't have an option to have Zelda like as a playable character, or like a female Link, and the guy went into this whole hullabaloo about how like, well, there's the Triforce and it's Ganon and Zelda and Link, and like it has these kind of male and female aspects, and if we had two females in there, it would like unbalance the Triforce, and it was like, what are you talking about? Shut up, for the love of God, just say I don't wanna, like, and then get on with your life.
He might as well have said I don't wanna. Instead, he decided the mansplain the Triforce.
Yeah, I'm just not having it. Not really into it. What I am into though is Persona 5, and apparently we got some retail listings that have leaked some things that will probably be happening. This is actually from Best Buy. They went up and then they came down. One is, I feel like this is one of the worst kept secrets of all time, but Persona 5 is probably going to be coming out on the Switch.
And I'm cool with that.
I'm super cool with that.
I never finished it, so.
Yeah, I got about halfway through. I have a problem finishing long-ass JRPGs.
That's the same. Like, I don't remember, another game came out around the same time, and I was like, I'll get to it, and then I just forgot.
Well, the problem is, it's like you need to put out your JRPG when nothing's going to come out for the next, 2 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise, I'm going to get distracted. There's a lot of video game industry.
Also, I don't have the actual case for it.
Really?
My friend gave me his copy, but it was just the disc because he bought the collectors and he wanted the case. And so I just have
Come
it.
on, guy.
I have it in a blank PS4 case, and so I'll forget I have it because of it. Like, I'll look at it, and be like, what is this one? It's like, oh yeah, that's right, I own Persona 5 now.
You would go to a GameStop and somebody had traded in their Xbox 360 games, and it was just that neon green with black marker with Halo ODST on the front of a thing. You're just like, okay.
There's so many of those there too.
All right. But yeah, so Persona 5 on the Switch, that's probably going to be a thing, especially with the whole Persona 5 Royale announcement. This one is really interesting to me, Metroid Prime Trilogy. So I think that would actually be a really good one, with Metroid Prime 4 being pushed back, because of development problems. I think it would actually be really cool if they put together all 3 Metroid Prime games, and then because I don't know how they would do the third one, because the third one had a pretty heavy motion controller.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Because the first 2, I believe, were
GameCube games, yeah.
And then the third one was on the Wii, and it had that whole And
a lot of people didn't really play it, as far as I know.
I played about half of it, and then it was I only played all the way to the end of one Wii game, and that's fucking Skyward Sword, because I just didn't want to be standing in my living room for 15 hours waving my arms around.
Which is why I never played No More Heroes.
Exactly.
There's a whole lot of suplex motions, and I loved it.
Wasn't there a thing in one of the Assassin's Creed releases where you literally had to choke a person with the 2 controllers? Like, you had to make a choking motion with the controllers.
Right. And for one of the Call of Duties, you had to move the controller to do a melee.
Oh.
And I still think to this day that somebody should do this. They should make a Guitar Hero mixture where if you start playing badly, the audience comes at you and you have to use the
You use the guitar to hit them?
to smack them in the face with
Take
it.
the guitar off and start swinging it like a club.
I
using
think
the
I'm
accelerometer?
amazed it's not a thing. It should be a thing.
I think people just don't want to break their plastic guitars.
I think it would be amazing. Just like that motion to like melee, dude. Oh, it would be perfect.
And then, strangely and inexplicably, and this may go back to what you were just saying, there was also a listing for A Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Sweet.
So
I love that game, by the way. It's my favorite Zelda game.
Yeah, mine too. This is absolutely 100%.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm. You can keep them, man. You can keep the
your
3D ones.
Ocarina of whatever's.
Yep. Except
Your Ocarina of Lame. I'm just kidding.
Except, you know what? I really wish that they would go back and remake, like fully remake Majora's Mask.
Oh, okay.
For like a current gen console, because I played that on the 3DS and I was like, this is fascinating. This is a fascinating game.
It's the Joker of Zelda games.
It's like Groundhog Day. It's like, every day the world ends and you got to figure out how to complete quests in the 1 day time span that you've got before time rewinds, the big face moon hits, and then you got to go back. And it's like, what? What? So I don't know. What do you think? Link to the Past, do you think like I mean, they're already remaking Zelda 2, or the Link's Awakening.
Yeah, they're remaking Link's Awakening
the
right
GBA
now.
one.
It was just they're one of the old, one of the first Game Boy games, if I remember correctly.
If you count
color.
that weird Mario game where you fly an airplane and a submarine.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Or that Castlevania game where it's like you got a ball to upgrade your whip. Poor Game Boy.
Actually, yeah, I bought that for the 3DS when they released that on that.
Yeah,
that's you use Sophia Belmont, the only female Belmont in the entirety of all Belmonts.
Oh, there you go. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems weird to me because I don't think that just straight up. I mean, like, okay, it was a Best Buy listing, right? So
yeah,
are you talking about a digital code to re-release Link to the Past on the store?
I wouldn't be surprised.
But they aren't selling Super Nintendo games on the Switch store.
Or are they going to?
Or are they? And like, it seems like if they're going to remake that then you'd be stepping all over the Zelda 2 Link's Awakening or whatever that game is called.
Yeah, if you remake it, then that would be an issue that way. But or maybe they gave them a different name for their listing or something for that game.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, speaking of Persona, there's also something new coming on the 25th of April, Thursday.
It's going to be Mario. I'm just kidding.
It's probably going to be the freaking the Switch announcement.
Yeah.
Well, because also Persona Super Live 2019 is happening on the 24th and 25th in Tokyo. If you've never actually gone online and watched Persona Super Live, like on some of the YouTube clips of it, it's amazing. It's like a fucking sold out stadium, like Bon Jovi style, and then a band up on stage playing the music from Persona.
That sounds awesome.
I mean, like, one of my favorite things to do when I'm really drunk is watch because they always, for their encore, they always play the battle theme from 4.
Oh, really?
Which we've all just heard so many fucking times. And it's kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing because you'll see like this huge sea of people. They've all got like glow sticks that they're like bopping along with the song, and then it's like this whole band, people kind of going up to. There's like a weird rap part in that song, and like it's so strange. You got to go watch Persona Live. Maybe even if you're not into Persona. The only problem that I have is that the Persona 5 battle music is just like one lady singing.
Yeah, they used one of the backup singers for the one from 3.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, she's the one who does the music for 5.
So I haven't been able to find like a version where there's like a huge stadium. Like, I found one video of her singing that song, but it was like to a weird, like a small bar full of people.
That's weird.
Just like, okay.
Yeah, I know the band for that did 3 and 4. They actually did a song for the second series of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's just called Overdrive. If I remember correctly. It's really good.
Yeah. Go watch Persona Live. I remember the day that I stumbled onto it on YouTube, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Japan loves this shit.
Yeah.
They love doing weird events like that.
I would love to go to one of those. It's just that, like,
I would too.
I'm not made of money. Also, I did my taxes last week, and guess what? I can't pay my taxes, so we'll have to figure that out. I don't know how. I don't know where the money's going to come from. Maybe I'll sell my bones, but
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, something will happen. Speaking of when something happens, apparently Respawn released a patch last week where they briefly reset everybody's progress in the game. They put out a 1.1 patch that was supposed to solve some stuff, and there was a bug in it. And so for a little bit, everybody's progress and like their unlocks were just like completely gone.
Oh, damn.
And good on Respawn, because within like a couple of hours they found the bug, patched it out, reset everybody back to where they were, and like get on with your days. So
that was close.
Yeah. Oof. I almost had to play with the regular skin for this gun. Whoop,
Almost
doggy.
had to use the normal one that's not purple and crazy and all out there.
Yep. Let's talk about some trailers. We got 3 minutes, and we got about 4 minutes of Patrice Desilets talking about Ancestors, a game which I've kind of been looking at, and I'm now convinced might end up being really boring. This is the one where you get to play as like a monkey, and you're just jumping around on trees, and you're trying to avoid predators, and like eat food and not poison yourself, and then like sleep, and
It looks like the most boring parts of Tarzan,
yeah,
but you don't get to be Tarzan at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun, and I'm not seeing it. I get the impression that Patrice over here is really, really excited. But I've seen really excited developers before about their game, and then when I play it, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I've been waiting for a long time to kind of see what exactly this game is, and what it seems like is Monkey Simulator 2019.
Yeah.
Don't get eaten. Oh, wait, but there is a thing. Michael didn't actually watch this trailer before we started. There is a part where there's a giant snake, and that part's pretty cool. Let's see. Is that a giant snake? Yes, there's a gigantic snake that eats like a hyena, like a big prehistoric snake.
Neat.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You're seeing this for the first time. I mean, it kind of just looks like Monkey Simulator.
It's a weird like survival monkey simulator that for a second I thought it was farting when it was climbing up that tree because of the way the dirt was.
Oh yeah,
coming off of the tree. But it's just like you're jumping around collecting food to survive,
trying not to get eaten,
and you're hoping that Mario doesn't kidnap you to and make you wear a tie. I guess I don't know. This looks boring as fuck.
Yeah, like this is one of those ones that kind of after all these years sets off some warning bells where he's like, there is no map. You just have to explore and kind of feel the world. And I'm like, ooh.
It's like when Fallout 76 was like, we don't have a story. It's whatever you make of it.
Ooh, boy. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, hey, it's supposed to be coming out this year. What I saw in this video, though, looks like alpha footage. So, but
I don't know what it's supposed to be. Like the symbols, like always, the evolutionary chart.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to get to that point at some point?
I
don't
think
know.
so. I think that you're going to be going through different time periods. But I don't know. I'm just a little worried. I kind of wish that
if it turns out to be a Vandal Savage game, I'd be all for it though.
Oh. If it's a Vandal Savage anything, you're all about it. If it was a Vandal Savage fucking like teen idol
don't tempt me with something like that. That sounds amazing.
Teen idol like cover band, you would be into that. All we do is sing Vandal Savage songs.
That sounds amazing.
In the style of a 50s doo-wop band, and it's a bunch of K-pop girls. Call of Duty is not a bunch of K-pop girls. It's a bunch of people shooting each other. And apparently Blackout is getting some new stuff. There's a new smaller Battle Royale map that's Alcatraz, apparently, dubbed Close Quarters Battle Royale. And apparently the entire Blackout mode is going to be free to play in April, like from April 2nd to April 30th. So
good for them.
If you're into it, great. Before we started, I think I touched a little bit on the problem that I keep having with these is that you watch these trailers and it makes it look like an entirely different kind of game than what it is. It always makes it, they always just bundle together all of the fastest, most interesting parts of playing online in Call of Duty, and they don't show any of the like just running in a circle trying to find the guy that's going to shoot you. Like,
yeah, it doesn't have the part where it's like, ooh, a gun, and then you die.
Yeah, which is kind of every single Call of Duty map.
I wonder if they'll have any Clint Eastwood Easter eggs in that Alcatraz area.
I doubt it.
Maybe a tunnel.
I doubt it. Back to Nintendo. We got some Nintendo news for this month of the 3 NES games that are being put on the stupid online service.
Yep.
So Punch Out with Mr. Dream is going to be one of them. Star Soldier, which is a garbage shmup. I remember this game from back in the old days.
I'd literally never heard of it.
This kind of sucks. I think I rented this for a weekend ended up playing a little bit of it.
It looks pretty boring, actually.
Oy vey. And then Super Mario: The Lost Levels.
But the normal version.
Not to tell anybody your business, but like if you really want to play the Super Mario Lost Levels, you always buy this Raspberry Pi, this Genesis case, and then you can play whatever version you want. You can play,
but you got to support the official release, though.
Mario All Stars. Well, I have that shit because Nintendo's still under the whole like, well, you can't play multiplayer unless you have it. Well, everybody does that now.
Yeah,
but like,
it's like you can't play this anyways without it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like I kind of hate this thing because Nintendo is just, they're putting out these games for like the 5th and 6th time and like it's a big fucking deal and it's just not a big fucking deal.
No, it's not anymore.
Like anybody who wants to play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream.
See, if it was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, I'd be excited.
Can I refer you back to this 16-bit?
No, but I mean, like, never mind.
Well, if you do want to punch some stuff, look, there's never a week where we don't have some Mortal Kombat news, and this week we got to see a brand new character from Mortal Kombat. Cetrion, did you see this?
I did.
I forgot all about this when I was parsing this out, so this may kind of come out of nowhere, but she's like very kind of elemental, weird Gaia, Mother Earth kind of thing.
Yeah, she's supposed to be an elder god, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, but who knows on
it's like
that?
the god of nature.
But apparently this trailer also confirms that Jade is boning Kotal-Khan.
Oh, yeah?
So that's the thing.
I don't pay attention to that stuff that they say at the very beginning.
Yeah, that like she's talking about like her love for Kotal-Khan or something. I'm like, that's neat.
Yeah, all right. I mean, as always, this character looks pretty cool. Like,
she looks like an Injustice character, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. It's like weird Poison Ivy character.
She has so many like superpower moves.
I just can't wait for Mortal Kombat. I want to play it so bad. Like, I want to play the story mode real bad. I want to see what all this dumb shit is about once it's in the storyline.
Also, her fatality is fucking crazy.
Yeah. What is it? I forgot it over
It's like she like attacks you with rocks, but then she becomes ginormous.
Oh,
and
yeah.
fires a laser out of her mouth.
Yep. She like grows like Asura's Wrath size, like out above the earth. She like steps on you and then gets so large and then just like vomits energy on you and you're dead. Yep.
It's crazy as fuck.
Yep. I like Mortal Kombat. Bring it on. I'm cool. Whatever you want. I tell you what's not cool, or maybe it is Paranoia, which is a dystopian tabletop RPG that was a thing that people used to play and is now getting a video game. I can't really speak very much to this because I've known people. I don't really know anybody who's ever played Paranoia.
I'd never heard of it until now. But I get a lot of like weird. Well, it's the scientific vibe where it's like everything has to be happy and.
It's kind of like We Happy Few meets Portal.
Yeah,
meets,
actually, that's a good way of describing
like
that.
Space Station Simulator or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of interesting. It's got a pretty decent trailer. I don't really know enough about the game to be able to tell anything outside of like, yeah, that looks like a video game, all right.
Yeah,
it looks like a Double Fine game. Like,
it kind of does. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff here and there throughout it, and the conceit of it, like being like, everything happiness is mandatory and showing shit on fire kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I give it that.
I mean, even if the happiness is enforced, it's like about 1 million times happier than the Pathologic 2 trailer that I showed you. We finally got a release date for Pathologic 2. Michael, I'd like for you to give the viewers your first impression since you don't really know anything about Pathologic.
Yeah, I told Jeff this earlier when he showed it to me. My first impression is if you look up that sequence from The Simpsons where Krusty the Clown first saw that weird itchy and scratchy like European cartoon.
Yeah.
And he just goes, what the hell was that? That's exactly what my first thought was when I saw this.
One of the things that I really like about this trailer and about the game in general is that I'm seeing people sleeping in a video game that have covers over them, which hardly ever happens in video games.
That's true.
And makes me mad because people, look, I know that you don't want to spend the time programming the blankets, but people put blankets on Skyrim. Everybody has to just sleep in their clothes on top of their bed. I don't know. Pathologic is one of those games where, like, there was a Watch Out for Fireballs episode where they described the entire game from start to finish, and they were very much like, if you're not really interested in this game, please just listen to this because it's kind of this nihilistic Eastern European slog of a game.
It also kind of reminds me of that sort of Children of the Corn-ish where there's like no adults or whatever kind of thing. I don't know. It's weird.
That's just like the focus of the trailer because there are definitely adults. But in any case, May 23rd, this is actually coming out. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I don't know if you guys all know this, but apparently Pathologic 2 is actually just a remake of Pathologic 1. So also that.
It's like Street Fighter 4.
Not to be confused with Pathologic HD that came out, I believe, twice.
Also like Street Fighter 4.
Yep. All right, last but not least, let's go ahead and run down some announcements for releases and things that are coming out and whatnot. I always like to finish up with that. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice coming out on the Switch. We have a date now. It's going to be April 11th, so
Sweet.
Can't wait to get your madness on. Go check it out on the Switch. Hellblade's a great game, and it's generally priced around $30 or $40, which I think is totally worth it for what it is. So I can it just enthusiastically endorse Hellblade. Unfortunately, Super Meat Boy Forever, the latest Super Meat Boy game, is not coming out in April. It's been pushed back. They actually made a really good, they put out this little statement, and I'm going to read it because it's great. It says, "We're missing our April launch. We've been knocking out the last bits of Super Meat Boy Forever at record speeds while keeping a healthy and sustainable pace. We're going to keep that pace, which means that we will not hit our April 2019 release. Sorry about that. We could have sacrificed our minds, bodies, and social lives to make April 19, but that's stupid. Team Meat isn't some studio owned by an evil asshat corporation that has say over what we do or how we do it. We're fortunate enough to have control over how we work, and we choose not to run ourselves into the ground. Game delays blow, we know, but we're close. We're close, so it shouldn't be too long of a delay. The next trailer we drop will have a concrete release date, but until then, we are officially launching, quote, after, but not too far after April 2019, unquote." So,
My favorite thing is evil asshat can acronym very easily.
yes. I didn't even realize that when I saw it. Yeah. And then they say this past weekend we were telling this to attendees at PAX East, and everyone we told was really cool about it. So there you go.
That's really nice of them.
Yeah. Speaking of PAX, we also got the announcement of the first new Samurai Showdown character in years.
Oh, wow.
Darlie Dagger, who's like a kind of a weird lady pirate samurai.
I'm all for it.
Yep. We didn't get any actual gameplay, just some concept art, but she looks pretty cool. She's got a big old meaty cleaver sword with skull and I guess like a hammer and a knife on it or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like a butcher knife.
Yeah. And then if you can't wait for that, we also
Oh my God, the Pizzone is back? Sorry, there's an ad for the Pizzone.
I'm trying to tell you about Samurai Showdown. I was like, hold on, the Pizzone is back, y'all.
You guys have no idea how happy that makes me, by the way.
Yeah, but if you can't wait for Samurai Showdown, was it like 5 or whatever?
I
or
think so,
6
something like
or
that.
something like that. They're putting out a Samurai Showdown collection. SNK is putting out a Samurai Showdown that collects all the Samurai Showdown 1 through 5, and then a special edition version of 5 from the arcade. So
Nice.
you'll be able to be getting that sometime in the fall. Other things you'll be able to get is Yakuza Kiwami. We got an ESRB rating for the PC, so we're probably going to be seeing Yakuza Kiwami 2. Sorry, not 1, 2 on the PC. There hasn't actually been a direct release date for that, but now we know. And then we got the announcement that Jackbox Party Pack 6 is coming out. I just want to put everybody on notice. That means we're going to have a Sunday stream with Jackbox Party Pack because it's nothing better than ain't no stream like a Sunday stream with the Jackbox Party Pack stream because Jackbox. I didn't do it. Anyway, it's going to be having a bunch of new things.
I thought you said Jack Black at first, and I was like, wait, what?
Have you ever played any of the Jackbox Party Pack?
I have. Some people keep bringing it to my apartment, and we end up playing it and saying filthy, filthy things.
You got to play it on the stream with me sometime because it's way more fun when you've got like a whole Twitch stream full of people to join in with you. Except they join in super fast. Yeah. And last but not least, here's a question I didn't think I'd have to ask this week. Is Mike Tyson confused?
Huh.
Because Mike Tyson went on Twitter and said, heard at Nintendo was doing the new Punch-Out without even contacting me. It won't be the same. My knockouts made that game. That's whack. So, lots of questions. One, does Mike Tyson know that there was a version of Punch-Out that didn't have him in it? Did he know there were 2 sequels to Punch-Out? One on the Super Nintendo, one on the Wii. Was there another one in between there at some point?
No, it's just Super, that one, and then the him on Smash Brothers.
Okay.
Oh wait, there's one weird ass thing they did with him. There was a boxing game for the GameCube
Yeah.
where they added him as a character, and he was terrifying to look at.
Little Mac or
Yeah, it was. They added Little Mac to it. It was one of those Fight Night games. I can't remember.
Oh,
it was
okay.
only for the GameCube, and he was fucking frightening to look at.
Or is Nintendo making a new Punch-Out game and Mike Tyson just spoiled that information online? Or is he confused about the upcoming release of the Mr. Dream version of Punch-Out on the NES Switch store? Mike Tyson, are you confused or do you know something?
These are all really good questions. First of all, Nintendo, you should contact Mike Tyson so you can re-release Mike Tyson's Punch-Out so you can make all the money.
I don't think they're ever going to do that.
And two, you should make another Punch-Out because I will buy that.
I think
Fast.
I think you should make another Punch-Out. I think you should use the Wiimote controller as a motion control Punch-Out.
I love that. Did you ever play Punch-Out Wii?
No.
Actually, it actually had the motion controls for the hitting.
Yeah.
And I actually did beat the game that way. It was great exercising. It was hard as shit, but it was fun as hell.
Cool. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to answer some questions, so stick around, and we'll see you in just a moment. And it's time for questions, Michael. I asked for questions. We got a ton of questions this week. So
the Riddler's out again?
Yes. The Riddler has been released from Arkham State Hospital. And yeah. And he's out here just pretending to be fans of Rage Select, apparently.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's get the show on the road because we got a lot to talk about. Patty Cakes writes in to say, hello, Jeff and Michael. Can you guys take some time to discuss the best jump scares that have ever, quote unquote, gotten you from movies, games, life? I've been playing the RE2 remake like crazy, my game of the year so far, and I'm about to beat it fourth time. But the first time around I played as Leon, I was in the apartment by myself with the lights off, and I got to the part where Mr. X slams through a wall to corner you in a hallway at the Kool-Aid Man. Him bursting through the wall like that got me so good that I audibly gasped. Had to take a couple of minutes to settle down before I ventured out of the safety of the interrogation room. Man, I love that game. Best regards from Patty Cakes. It's funny because like he's describing all this, but then his description of his reaction was just like, all right, calm down. I get that it was probably more than that, but just in my brain, I was like imagining. Yeah.
I got you on that one.
Let's talk about jump scares in general. I'm generally not. It depends on the jump scare.
It depends on how it's set up too, and depending on what it's for, actually.
Yeah,
because some of my favorite jump scares aren't from horror games.
Yeah,
I think my favorite. I was just talking to somebody about this. Is actually, I think it's an Arkham Knight.
Okay,
where you're like zipping around, and then you do the grappling hook, and then Man-Bat out of fucking nowhere pops out of the goddamn ledge and scared the fuck out of me. And I was like, that dirty son of a bitch. And I remember being so upset that it got me because I literally had heard about it like prior to that. It's like, it's not going to get me. And it got me. And then I was like, I caught him and I was like, I don't have to worry about that again. But then he fucking escapes.
Yeah.
And then he fucking does it again. And I was so just like, God damn you fucking motherfucker.
Yeah, I think, okay. We're going to talk about jump scares. If we're going to talk about jump scares, we're going to talk about video games, then we've got to talk about fucking Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Oh, yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's to me is like the worst kind of jump scare. It's like those old, whoa, can you find the 5 differences in this picture? And then after a certain amount of time, it's just like, and there's like a big face screaming at you.
That is what it is, basically.
Because those are... they're not fair. Like
no, they're not.
They're not fair. It's just like it's like if somebody punched you in the nuts and they were like, "Oh, did that hurt?" It's like, yes, it hurts everyone when you get punched in the nuts. Like, I'm a mammal and I'd have to be on fucking drugs for a big face screaming at me to not be scary. Like to not be. And so to me, it sucks because I'm like, you didn't earn that. Like now on the other hand, like Mr. X busting through the wall, or like especially in Resident Evil 2 when you're just like you're playing and then suddenly you open a door and Mr. X is standing there and you're just like, fuck. Like that sort of thing I like quite a bit because I feel like you did earn it because it's like, okay, so the thing I don't like about the kind of jump scares that Five Nights at Freddy's does, or that a lot of movies do,
Yeah.
is that I don't have any control over this. Like, you're doing a thing that's like guaranteed to make people frightened because I'm a fucking animal. I have an animal brain inside of my skull, and when something is loud and too close to you, you're just like, God, get away and quiet down. Like, so I don't like it when horror movies do it. I don't like it when video games do it. Like, so I hate Five Nights at Freddy's, but like I really liked The Evil Within 2 because that was like a much more, it's kind of like Resident Evil, right? Of a much more like fair scare. Like it was just a way of presenting disturbing imagery or building up a disturbing thing so that I am disturbed.
Speaking of jump scares, Archer almost scared me a second.
Oh, he came up behind you. I saw him do it.
I felt him touch my arm, and I actually almost jumped.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like being scared very much. Like I know a lot of people who like enjoy like being afraid. I do not generally enjoy being afraid. I like horror movies, right? And I like the kind of fucked up weird imagery and that kind of stuff. And like I like kind of dread and creepiness. There's a lot of like things associated with being afraid that I like. I like the kind of imagery, kind of gothic horror and weird, all these bodies and shit, like or like at the beginning of, or like in Resident Evil 4 where the chainsaw guy comes out for the first time and you're just like, fuck what?
Yeah, like, there was a lot of great stuff like that. Actually, yeah. I have a couple other answers. One I think is pretty great, which are adventure ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're running from stuff, or like traps and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like the trap that sort of appears. I love those. Like in Indiana Jones, for instance, where he's leaving after everything's going to shit, and he sees Alfred Molina like on the trap.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, oh fuck, and then he just grabs the auto and fucking leaves.
Yeah,
like I love that jump scare because it's a fun little thing for the ride of it. My other answer I love because I didn't technically have them yet. I was just there with it for my friend. It was one of the fear games.
Okay.
He was climbing a ladder, and when he got to the top of the ladder, it was that little girl ghost, and he freaked the fuck out, and then he just slowly started climbing down the ladder.
I mean, I remember the first time that I was playing Quake back in the olden days, and the first time that I turned a corner and Shambler was there, who, like, for anybody who hasn't played Quake, Shamblers are like 14-foot tall hulking monstrosities.
They're fucking terrifying.
And I just turned around and was like, nope, no, sir, not interested. And then I went back and shot it with a lightning gun a bunch of times. But it's funny because the beginning of Resident Evil 7 has a lot of kind of like what you might consider almost like Five Nights at Freddy's jump scares.
Yeah,
where Mia's throwing you all over the place, and like she's just it's like you versus this crazy woman, but like none of it is that quiet.
Yeah.
Like there's the points where like it's all like I like it. Okay, I don't even mind a scare that gets up in your face, but I like it when there's a little bit of like build up. Like going back to Indiana Jones, in the very beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's the thing where there's the spider on Indy's back, and he does it, and then he has Melina turn around, and it's really slow, and there's all the tarantulas on the back of him, and he like knocks them all off or whatever. But like no part of that is like, it's not like a big spider face is up in your face. And then like in Resident Evil 7, it's like you find Mia. I think the beginning of Resident Evil 7 is kind of brilliant because you don't have any, like, it's more of like what current horror games are, where it's like running away and that kind of thing. Like you don't have any weaponry, and then it's you go up the stairs with her, and then you're like looking down this dark stairwell, and then she just fucking comes running up it like a banshee and like knocks you out of the way. And then you're like, what? I mean, that game actually does a lot of the stuff that Mr. X, like when that after you get away from Mia and after you escape from the dinner, how Jack just will start come through a wall.
Yeah.
And that whole sequence with the car where he's like, time to die, and then he like smashes you guys into that thing, and then the car catches on fire, and then he stands up out of it and says, you want to see something cool, and just shoots himself in the head, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, that fucking game, dude.
What the fuck is going on
That
here?
game fucked with my mind for like a while in the beginning, especially because of that guy.
Yeah.
Because you're just like hanging out, and then he just fucking pops out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, fuck me sideways.
Yeah, because it's a while until you get like, and even when you get because he stalks you through like the first third like of the game.
He's terrifying.
Yeah, he's worse than Mr. X. It's like having Nemesis on you all the time, except he's a hillbilly crazy man.
Yeah,
like,
it's a crazy redneck talking to you the whole time.
and in Resident Evil 7, the beginning of Resident Evil 7 is actually a great example to me of what good scary looks like.
Yeah.
Like when you get to you're trying to get out of the house and you get to the garage and that cop is there, and then suddenly like the shovel goes through his face and like half of his face slides off.
Holy shit.
Jack's standing there and he's like, all right. And then it's like, yeah, you can get a gun and you can get the keys to the car. You can literally, you don't drive in that game, except at one point they put in driving mechanics so you can just run into this guy doing donuts in his garage in this weird car.
That's if you do it fast enough, too, because there's the other way of it happening, and that also scared the shit out of me, too.
Fuck, later on you have a fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 chainsaw fight with that motherfucker, right?
It's so fucking
You
cool.
get the chainsaw and you're like kicking the human, or it's like the pig torsos like up against him and then hitting him with the chainsaw. And
that game is so good.
yeah. Like
I think another game that's pretty good about jump scares is BioShock, the first BioShock.
Okay.
That one has a lot of great but it still has that sort of thing where it's a lot of build up.
Yeah.
It's just dark ass imagery and a lot of fucked up shit going on. And then a Big Daddy comes out of fucking nowhere.
It's interesting because the Big Daddies are a great oppressive presence, kind of like Mr. X or kind of like some of the other things, because you'll be in an area and there's a whole build up in the beginning of BioShock 1 to the point where you fight your first Big Daddy. And I feel like when you do that, it's like you just use every bullet and health pack and plasmid and everything you've got. But then it's like, whenever you go into a new area and you're going to have to fight Big Daddies and you're just trying to do something, and then the screen starts shaking, you hear those big footsteps and you hear that, or conversely, you hear a fucking little sister talking about angels. You gotta give kisses to angels, and you're just like, oh god,
like, oh sweet Jesus! I love when you finally get the plasmid to control Big Daddies.
Yeah,
and you just make Big Daddies fight each other. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, Big Daddy on Big Daddy action.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, well, because they set it up so well in the beginning, because the first thing that happens is that Splicer like cuts up the bathysphere, right? And then he gets chased off by the drone, and then it's like you're fighting the splicers and they're pretty terrible, and then it's like what you get jacked, that Splicer comes up and puts his face right in your face.
Yeah.
And then the Big Daddy comes the little sister and she looks at you, and then they leave, and then you see that other Big Daddy kill that Splicer with the drill really hard.
That's so fucking cool.
And then finally Alice is like, all right, it's time for you to go take down a Big Daddy, boyo. And you're just like,
I don't want to.
Shit. That's before you realize that death has no meaning in that game.
Absolutely.
And you can just literally pull out your pipe wrench and wail on a Big Daddy, and when he kills you, you just come back to life and keep wailing on him. You don't have to use a single bullet to kill a Big Daddy in that game.
Yeah, you don't even technically need to use a health pack.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
It's a great game, though.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit. BioShock is an interesting example of like how a game doesn't have to be super challenging to be effective. Like, because there aren't really very many stakes in BioShock, and like
that game is still terrifying.
Last boss is just garbage. But I don't know. I mean, like I like horror games that build stuff up. Like instead of, so many of the. I think it started with Slender, right? Because Slender was the first like your game over state was. Right. He just is up in your face, but then Slender had that really interesting thing with the teleporting mechanic, right? It's because you don't ever see him move. But to be honest, I think Slender's garbage once you've played the SCP Foundation game, because that one starts with SCP-173, but then there's like a shitload of other monsters to deal with in that game, and a shitload of different ways to do it, and it's procedurally generated. So I don't know. I don't know that I would really consider Mr. X busting through the wall to be a jump scare.
I just thought of a weird jump scare because it's like half jump scare, half joke.
Yeah.
The one in Metal Gear Solid 2 where you see the Vulcan Raven's shadow
Oh yeah.
and it's just a little doll.
Yeah.
I remember like legitimately being like, oh fuck. And then it's like, oh, that's kind of adorable.
I'll tell you what, man. Talking about things that'll freak you out, like, when Colonel Campbell starts calling you at the end of that game, and he's just saying all that weird shit. And then there's one time where you open up your codec, and his face is like half a skull. He looks like his weird skull face, Campbell.
I told you the story about what happened to me with that part, right?
I don't think so.
I was playing that game, and it was like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I've been playing it all fucking day. So when Colonel started saying weird shit, when he popped up, he's like, "You've been playing too long. You should probably go to sleep." I was like, "You're right, Colonel. I have been playing too long," because I literally thought I was hallucinating.
When I played Eternal Darkness, it was like by myself at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and the first time that one of those sanity effects like brought up the volume and made it turn down, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Even though that doesn't work anymore, because it used to be that all the TVs look similar, and it helped that I was playing that game at my parents' house on a TV that wasn't mine, so I didn't even know what the volume control looked like. But yeah. Anyway,
I love shit like that.
I love shit like that too. I just don't like it when it's just screaming in your face. That's what I don't like it. Vova writes in and says, "Hello, dear Jeff and Sexy Michael. Hope y'all are doing well. In one recent interview, Ed Boon, creator of Mortal Kombat, stated he'd be all over making a Marvel versus DC fighting game if that was possible. Marvel versus DC fighting game. Okay. Hypothetically, Disney and Warner Brothers agreed and gave Ed a lot of money to make this game after MK11, and Ed Boon calls you to ask your opinion on what/who should be in the game. What story arc/arcs would you use as a basis for the story mode, which NetherRealms is known for? Include a brief overall story outline as well? No, this isn't homework. Who would you include from Marvel's side and who from DC's? You get 12 characters, 2 to 3 bosses. Bonus ones as DLC. What guest characters would you pick for DLC? Thanks for all the hours you spent raging and selecting. For all our enjoyment, keep at it. Your loyal fan and patron, Vova. Vova, I'm very sorry, but I'm not going to do all of... we're not going to write down all of this, but like we can talk a little bit about Marvel versus DC. Well, there's been some Marvel versus DC stuff, right?
Yeah, there's been at least 2 or 3 storylines, comic book wise, of something like that.
The major problem that I think that I normally have when it comes to Marvel versus DC is that DC's characters are more powerful.
They're OP as hell.
You know what? It's fine. We have Joker and Injustice. We're all willing to just put aside the power levels. I mean, hey man, you do Superman and Batman, Wonder Woman, just probably Martian Manhunter, Cyborg. I don't know. It's Avengers versus the Justice League, basically, right? I mean, like,
mostly, yeah.
What are you gonna do? Put in like the Avengers West Coast and Justice League Europe, like
oh god, that would be amazing.
Versus
just get the early that 90s team that with Booster Gold in them to fight the West Coast Avengers. Actually, you know what, that should be the entire plot. Is it's just the West Coast Avengers versus that like Booster Gold era fucking Justice League. Yeah. But only them. Like it doesn't have Superman at all, and it doesn't have like Captain America. It's just Hawkeye and Booster Gold and their weird ass fucking teammates. I would play the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, here's the thing is that if I was going to make a game like that, the problem is that I would probably end up making a game. Okay, so for the DC side, here's a big problem. There's already a DC fighting game, and it's called Injustice, and I kind of just want all those characters, right? Like, I don't feel like there were a lot of people that were left out of the Injustice roster. I mean, how are you going to make a DC game that doesn't have Superman and Batman, right? So you get 2 of your 10 slots there. You're going to be putting in Wonder Woman. You're going to be putting in Green Lantern. You're going to be putting in a Flash. That's 5. You're probably going to be putting in Cyborg. You're probably going to be putting in...
Lex Luthor.
Maybe, some of the villains.
Because you'd have to get to some
Joker,
villains in there.
Catwoman, Lex Luthor.
Harley Quinn's everybody's like favorite right now.
Right, Sinestro maybe, something like that. And then on the Marvel side, I mean, like, how are you going to make a Marvel game that at this point that doesn't have Captain America, Iron Man, Thor?
Also, it's hard to make a Marvel fighting game that isn't fucking Capcom related. Yeah, that wouldn't make me angry. Because the thing is, I love like all of the way those moves work and stuff in those games, and that's kind of my issue. Is that like when you make a fighting game with some of these characters, you're already used to a specific way with some of them already. Okay, and that just makes it a lot harder. At least when it comes to like, well, at least for me, like especially for me, because it's one of those things where like there's not. It's not a uniform thing to me. I guess is really my biggest issue with it.
I figured it out. I figured out how we solve this problem.
What's that?
It's Marvel Knights. Your Blade, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, the kind of
Punisher.
Maybe not Punisher, but like some of the more like darker and then more magical based Marvel characters versus the Justice League Dark or whatever.
Oh, I'd play that.
Constantine, Zatanna, Swamp Thing, Spectre. Where it's just magic versus magic, and then it doesn't have to matter because it's all fucking magic, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to think of. I don't know if I know that much about the Marvel magic roster. I mean, obviously you got Doctor Strange, but he's a little bit.
Well, it's Doctor Strange. What's his name? Something Voodoo. Can't remember his name. Like those are literally like the two that I know right away. Loki, I guess, knows that Doctor Doom knows magic too.
You have like that alternate Doctor Doom where he's not tech based, he's magic based.
Yeah, he's all magic based,
skin armor or whatever. And
Doctor Doom's a fun fucking dude. That dude knows like so much random shit.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a couple others.
Blade could definitely work in there. Moon Knight's he's a wackadoo. He's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You probably staff that in. I mean, and then but then do you have John Constantine have a bunch of fighting moves? Do you put him in a fighting game? Is
just
John Constantine punching people? Is that a thing you really want to see?
It's just him throwing cigarettes at a person.
Throwing a bunch of
all he
cigarettes at a
does.
person.
Cancer.
I'm trying to think of like of more of the magic based. I mean, I don't know. You could do that. I also think it'd be interesting to make. What would be kind of cool is make it all cosmic instead. Because, in the Marvel Cosmic, you've got, like the Starjammers and the Guardians and, I don't know, you get the whole
guys,
Inhumans and stuff like that. And then, in DC, you've got, like, who's the guy with the jetpack that goes between planets on the Zeta Ray?
Adam
Strange.
Yeah.
And like the Manhunters and like Green Lantern Corps and maybe like Starman went into space a few times.
All of the corps.
Yeah, all the different corps.
Starro would be pretty cool.
Starro the Conqueror. He's the man. He's the last boss. Galactus. I mean, I don't know. There's some ways that you could probably do it to do better than that. I mean, as far as the story goes, at this point, I don't really give a shit. Like,
you could just always do one of those Marvel versus DC ones that they already came up with at some point.
Yeah. Just look. Both sides of the comics have people that have dumb reality bending powers. So I don't know. Maybe the Scarlet Witch got really mad one day, and then she accidentally tore a hole between the Marvel and DC universes, and we're just doing it that way. Or like maybe the Phantom Stranger foresaw a threat that only the combined heroes of two realities could face, and so he opened a portal.
Man, actually, you know what would be the funniest fucking thing on the planet? Is if the storyline was that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby got into a fist fight and it accidentally caused an explosion of their two works. So you got like the New Gods from Jack Kirby stuff and all Spider-Man stuff.
Is there a Mitzi Spitalik character in the Marvel universe?
Yes. What the fuck is his name? Ambush? No, that's also DC. He's like a green fucking dude. I can't remember what his name is.
He's got like a really long face.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
Maybe that's what
an
it
actual
is.
plot with that, I think.
Is like the two of them get in a fight, and then they're like, well, my universe is better, and my universe is better, and it's like, oh yeah, well then let's make them fight, and then they're all smashed together.
That's actually partly the story of the DC Looney Tunes one.
Yeah,
Mixwell Spitlick and the Dodo Bird decide to switch for a day because Mixie's tired of fucking with the DC universe.
Yeah,
and the Dodo Bird's tired of fucking with the Looney Tunes because they're all fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and so they switch for a day, and they both just like do like crazy shit with each other.
There's a one shot that I have called World's Funniest where it's Mixie and Batmite.
Oh yeah,
both fucking up with fucking realities, and they basically tear apart all of the various Elseworlds of the DC universe. And then at the end, they're just like, "Oh, that was fun. All right, let's put it back together. I'll see you on Thursday."
I love those fucking characters so much.
Yeah. All right, let's see. This one comes in from I don't know this person's signed. I'm going to call you C. C says, hello, Ragecast. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Michael. So awesome to finally sit down and write a question for the podcast. I've been listening since the bar days. Never thought I'd be a dog dad, but just recently my wife and I got a poodle pup and changed my whole outlook on having a dog. Now I have more photos of him than anything else, but the one thing I hate the most is whenever he poops, he'll turn right around and start eating it. Sometimes he'll even run with it in his mouth to avoid me. Does your dog have any quirks that you hate? Thanks for reading this, and keep on raging for decades to come, and that's from C.
My dog barks at everything.
Yeah?
He, just loves barking at everything. That isn't just me and my roommate.
I feel like I should have waited to have this question until, John lets his dog get away with so much. So it's like, well, she just woke me up. And I'm like, what? Your dog woke you up? Are you kidding me? My dog doesn't wake me up. My dog has one thing that I don't like all that much, is that when he wants to go and do a thing, especially if he sees another dog, he just starts whining pathetically. And so when I have my dog out on a walk and somebody else has their dog, he just starts like I beat him, like I abuse him terribly, and I'm so worried that people are going to be like, that poor dog, and I'll be like, he's a drama queen, all right. He just wants to go up to your dog and hang out, and I don't know you and I don't know your dog, so I'm not going to let him do that. But that's his thing, is that he just whines. He just whines and whines and whines. Other than that, my dog is fucking amazing. He is so well put together, so well behaved. So demure.
I accidentally spoiled my dog because there's one thing that he does that frustrates me to no end.
Yeah.
Which is that if I'm eating something or my roommate's eating something, or specifically if my roommate's eating something, if we don't give him something, he will bark at us eventually.
What?
And I have yelled at him so many fucking times
no.
to get him to not do that.
Yeah.
And he just but he does it mostly with my roommate because my roommate won't get mad at him. And he'll maybe give him something. But I'll just be like, no.
One of the very first things that I taught my dog was the command "fuck off," and it was when I was eating stuff. As he would come up and beg, and I would be like, "No, fuck off!" And so then he would just get up and go away.
He does jump though, he'll jump and smack me kind of thing, jump push, I guess.
My dog?
No, mine.
Oh,
if I'm eating, he'll sometimes do that.
No, I have
with a full bowl, by the way.
I have we have one of the very first things that I decided when I had a dog was that, because I saw the way that my parents spoiled their dogs, and one of the things with my dog that I decided when I got him was we are not having any of this give me something. No. But you know what that means is that when the treats come out, he is just so excited because I bring them out at random. Usually when I'm drunk, but
okay.
At random, I'll bring him out. And so he hears that bag crinkle, he'll just be completely asleep. And then suddenly it's bam, he's right there. Just yes. But
on.
he's such a smart dog. He's so smart that he knows kind of when we get done recording that's about the time that I'm going to take him out. And so there'll come a certain time, not the first recording and not the second recording, but around the third time that I'm recording, he'll just get really excited because he's figured out my schedule and the way that things work. Also, I don't think I've ever shown you, but have you ever seen it do the thing where I'll put a treat in my hand, I'll put it behind my back, and I'll put it between hands, and then I'll bring both my hands out, and he'll sniff at both of them, and then he'll put his paw up on the one that he thinks it is.
I don't think you have showed me
and
that.
He gets it right 9 times out of 10.
Oh, damn.
I'll give him a second chance, though. If he picks the wrong one, I'll be just are you sure? But he'll get all snuffling up into my hands, and then he'll he's trying to shake, essentially. But what he ends up doing is putting his paw up on the hand that he thinks has the treat in it. It's fucking adorable.
Sounds adorable.
He's the best dog. I love my dog. Yeah. So he doesn't do that much that bothers me. I mean, 2 years ago, he had a thing where he had a stomach problem. He was pooping all over the place. But I wasn't mad. I just, it's not like he wanted to. I know that if he couldn't control it, or else he would have waited to go outside.
Yeah.
So
my dog also whines when he wants to go out, and he will always do it when I'm directly in the middle of watching something.
Yeah.
He will always that's the thing, is I feel he waits for me to watch the new episode of Barry or something, and 10 minutes in he'll be like, hey, I want to go out. I'm like, God fucking damn it.
The only other thing I guess that makes some people uncomfortable, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I guess I'm not totally surprised because I guess I was a little bit hesitant at first. Was that I feel like a lot of people forget that my dog has a dick, and like so sometimes when he gets really excited, like when he wants a thing, he'll sit. Because that's the first thing that we do before we do anything is I have him sit, right? But sometimes when he gets really excited, he'll be sitting there looking at a person with just a raging dog erection, and it's like, yep, that he's excited. I mean, like,
yeah, my dog's done that too a couple times. If I pet him enough, he's just like he gets really excited.
So all I have to do is make him stop sitting and walk around for 1 second, and it all goes back. But like a lot of people forget that, like, you know. Or I'll rub my dog's belly, and like his junk is right there, and people are just like, "Oh my god, what if you touch it?" And I'm like, "He's a dog.
He's a dog.
I'm not trying to seduce him. I'm trying to give him belly rubs. He's a good boy.
I'm not playing Red Rocket here, people. What's wrong with you?"
Exactly. All right, let's do some Patreon questions. We got a few, not that many, but we got a couple. Septum Sin writes in, "Dear Ragers, I have heard a lot of crap about the new Elder Scrolls game. Heard lots of bad things. Can you think of any phone games by good companies that made you hope that they would be good, yet dashed your hopes and dreams?" No, because I never thought a phone game would be very good.
I think Nintendo tried somewhat with the
Super Mario Run,
and the fuck
Fire Emblem.
Not that one. The first one they did.
This is Mario Run.
No, it was that it was like that social thing with the Mii's or whatever.
Oh,
something Life.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what it was called. Me Life, something like that. Miiverse, something like that. It was a phone game thing, or like I'm using game as a quotes because it wasn't really anything other than like a social experiment where you could make pictures using like your Mii's face, and I ended up just fucking around with that by making like really bad, like they were essentially photoshops but with these weird Mii heads, and that was really the only thing with it. Like I was hoping it would be more than that, but it wasn't really anything at the time.
I mean, Septum saying, here's the thing, is that I have a hard time even thinking of reasons to play a phone game because I'd much rather just read books on my phone than play video games because I have a whole room that I spend 90% of my day in filled with various ways from a PlayStation to a PC to a RetroPie and a Genesis case to entertain me. So, like, I don't need to play games on my phone.
Plus, there's not a lot of, like, actual developers from that to a phone kind of thing that I would like be super excited they're doing a phone kind of thing, phone game.
I mean,
at least
if a game was very good, I wouldn't want it on my phone anyway. I'd want to play it in front of a TV with a controller. So, sorry, I don't really like phone games all that much. I mean, like even if that Elder Scrolls game was good, I wouldn't really want to play it. Like I don't.
Like, I've played some phone games that I thought were fun, but it always comes down to I'm not a fan of touchscreen controls.
My favorite phone game of all time was Threes. That was my favorite game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And that was just like, you know, I hate it when they're just like, "Wow, now you can play Borderlands on your phone." I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't fucking want to do that.
They're like, yeah, you can play X-Men Arcade on your phone. I'm like, no, that sounds awful.
I'll play it on my Switch.
Or I remember when they came out with Street Fighter 4 on your phones. I was like, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
And it was.
I mean, like clicker games, I played a few of those because just like tap, 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 tap.
I think I got Duck Hunt on one of my phones at one point, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because you can just tap it.
Oh, yeah. It's way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Dr. Frosty says, I know Jeff hates anime. What? But what do you think about the upcoming Netflix Cowboy Bebop show and live action adaptations of anime in general? So there was casting for that?
Yes, they announced that John Cho is going to be Spike.
Yep.
And I had to get into an argument with somebody about it because they were very much about the he has to be a white dude side of the argument.
Is Spike a white guy?
He's that's the thing about anime is that like you're never really sure what a guy's ethnicity is per se. And like that's why when people were getting mad about the Dragon Ball thing, they're like, look, he's a fucking alien. It doesn't fucking matter. He's like, he's a monkey man. No one cares to gives a fuck what his ethnicity is.
Yeah.
I think like it's just one of those things where it's like there's certain things that I don't really give a like honestly I'm not excited mostly because you're still adapting like a very stylish anime, and it's hard to really make because it's stylish because of everything that's going on in it, like animation wise.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you just make it a live action thing, you're just making Firefly, but without Nathan Fillion at that point.
See, the issue that I have with a lot of these adaptations is that I don't consider anime to be like inferior to live action.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and like there is a difference sometimes with like a book or a comic book where you're like, oh, I'd like to see what that was like, not in my head or not static on the page, but in like a visual dynamic medium, right? But anime is anime, man. Like I didn't need you to make Death Note into something that wasn't an anime because I was perfectly happy to watch the Death Note anime. Not that I even thought. Well, no, that's not true. I didn't like the movie. It was fine. It just like it was a real shame that it was called Death Note because Death Note was something very different to me than what they did in that movie. I don't really watch a lot of them. Like I know they made a Mob Psycho 100 show that was on Netflix. It was live action.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's the Attack on Titan live action.
There's a Rurouni Kenshin one.
Yep. There were a bunch of.
The Full Metal Alchemist, there's that one too.
There were a bunch of Death Notes before the Netflix one. There was like 4 Death Note movies or whatever.
I had so many friends go out of their way to watch those movies on theaters.
And then let us not forget the cinematic masterpiece, which is M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, that magical fucking thing.
Here's the thing: is that like okay, so all right. Once upon a time, it's been a while since I told this story, so you guys can all skip it who've heard it before. Once upon a time, I went to go see Sin City in the theater, and for years before, I was mad at comic book movies of just like, why don't they just make the Killing Joke? Why don't they just make, the Hellfire Club from X-Men? Why don't they just make, the best Superman story and then just make that into a movie?
Yeah.
And so finally somebody did. Frank Miller just shot Sin City. Shot for shot, line for line, pretty much exactly what those 3 books were, and just put them up on. It was Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, but Frank Miller also helped.
And Frank Miller helped.
He helped with all the coke that they had, apparently.
Yes. And they put all of that on the screen, line for line, shot for shot. I mean, like, you look at the book and you could see they just used the comic as a storyboard, right?
Yeah.
And it was boring. Because I know what happens in those stories, right? Yeah. So like the thing is that when I was watching it, I was like, this is an excellent adaptation. I already know what happens to that yellow bastard, right? Like I know what happens at the end of A Dame to Kill For. Like I know what happens at the end of these movies or at the end of these stories. And since you're shooting it one for one, it's like I know what happens at the end of 300. That's history for fuck's sake. Like so. One of the issues that I have with the idea of taking Cowboy Bebop and making it into a live action series, well, one, if you just film the anime, well, I already know what happens at the end of the anime.
Yeah.
Like it ends with a slow pan up and a sad song and 2 of the 4 characters getting on with their lives, right? Like, there's like, I will go back and watch the last episode of Cowboy Bebop with that whole thing with him assaulting that gigantic building.
That's so fucking
while
cool,
the real
dude.
folk blues plays and just like chills. I've seen it so many times, and even to this day, fucking like chills just talking about it.
Yeah.
So like, if they filmed that, that'd be kind of cool. But I already know what happens, and so then it's like, well, are you going to make a new set of stories? Well, do I want to see that? And if you are going to make a new set of stories, I'd rather you go throw money at Shinichiro Watanabe to come back and make an anime out of news stories.
Yeah.
And not like animes and movies aren't 1-to-1. Like stuff that looks idiotic in movies looks fine in an anime, and things that look fine in an anime looks idiotic in movies. Like we spent so long with these comic book movies getting to a point where we could finally make stuff look right on the screen, and not look weird or dumb or whatever.
Like I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's not going to really be all that Cowboy Bebop to me, at least. Not because it's live action per se. It's just that. Well, actually, it really is because it's live action. Because Cowboy Bebop is gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
And when you try translating it into live action, it just probably won't be nearly as stylish.
I mean, again, it's not like Cowboy Bebop was a bad-looking show with a bad soundtrack or that it had flaws. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's excellent. It's one of the most excellent animes of all time. It's one of those entry points into anime that I feel like I could recommend to anybody, like civilian or not, of just like, go watch this show. It's great. So, I mean, but like at best, we're going to get something that is equal to a thing that we've all seen 100 times and love.
Yeah.
and at worst, we're gonna get Ghost in the Shell, the movie,
Oh yeah.
because like. You know what? After
I don't think that's at worst. At worst is Dragon Ball Evolution.
Well, I don't know. It's just like after 10 years, every so often that rumor will float up of just like, oh, they're going to be going ahead making the Akira movie. And I'm like, no, just don't do it. Just make something else that's not an Akira movie.
Yeah, now Taiki, I can never say
Taika
his fucking
Waititi?
name. Yeah, now he's attached to it.
Yeah.
So there's always something with that thing.
But he's not the right person for that.
No.
I'd rather have Zack Snyder make the Akira
I don't
movie.
think anyone's the right person for that thing, to be honest. Actually, he probably would pull out all the CG stops on that one.
Yep.
So,
And the story is dark enough that he won't fuck with it, right? It'll be like when he made
like
Watchmen, right? Yeah.
So shot for shot, everything.
Yep.
5-hour version.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, just do that. Just do that. Or if you
You
want to
would do
get
it.
really crazy, go read the manga and then put some of the manga back in there.
Exactly.
But then,
He would do it too.
here's the thing: is after all these years, I don't want to see Akira again. I've already seen that movie like 24 times, and it's not.
That's
It's
why you add the manga stuff, because it's different.
right. It's a good movie, but like I don't need to watch it again. And I understand that it was a good movie because nobody had seen anything like that at the time. It was like a great breakthrough thing, but like I don't want to watch Akira again. Like I'd rather watch Spriggan than Akira
I
at
guess
this
that's fair.
point. Fuck's sake.
We should just make more Vampire Hunter D. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Or Helsing. Make Helsing into a live action series.
Or both. I'd watch both.
Yeah. Helsing versus Vampire Hunter D.
I'd watch the fuck out of that. I'm sorry. That sounds amazing.
That's some dumb shit that I will watch
I would
today.
watch that. I'd play that fighting game.
Also, I don't hate anime. Kate Josie says, what are Jeff and Michael cooking these days? You cooking anything these days? Cooking anything?
Cook meat.
Meat? What sort of meat?
Meat that I get from HEB for $4.
Okay, what meat are you getting? What sort of meat?
I don't really pay attention to it half the time.
Cow,
to be
pork,
honest.
chicken?
Well, it's
beef?
it's beef. It's beef that I get.
Uh-huh.
It's like I forgot. I think it's like a beef skirt.
Like skirt
sometimes.
steak?
Some of it's skirt steak. Like it really just depends on what I can afford at the time.
Right.
And so I just grab whatever, get some tortillas.
Uh-huh.
I'll make some meat with some lemon pepper. We'll sort of not really boil it, I guess. Like I'll put a pan full of water, throw that meat in there, cover it in lemon pepper, and just sort of like let it sit there
Dissolve.
for a while
Yeah.
until it's just like just the meat kind of thing is left. Warm up the tortillas, cut the meat into it, shove it in there, and then just eat that. Or maybe cook some beans if I have time for that sort of thing. That's really the only actual thing I cook. I sometimes cook chicken, but not too often because I'm really bad at cooking chicken.
I had my latest thing is this really easy instant pot roast with mashed potatoes, where it's like you take a roast and cut it up, and then you put it in the instant pot, and then you put in like you put in beef broth, onion soup mix, and then like you take like 6 red potatoes and just cut them into quarters, and you throw them all in there. Put that thing to cook for an hour, open it back up, take all of the potatoes out, or take all the roast out, take all the potatoes out. You immediately shred the roast up while it's still hot so that it's all shredded, right?
Uh-huh.
You take the potatoes, you put them into a bowl, and you put in sour cream, garlic, salt, and pepper, and mash them so they become this like rustic. You don't take the skins off or anything. It's like a rustic mashed potato. And then you take the broth that's left, sieve out all of the bits, and then you take cornstarch as a thickening agent. Put a bunch of cornstarch into cold water. You mix it into a slurry. You bring the gravy up to a boil. You put that in there. You stir it up. You let it thicken a little bit, and then right before I start doing all that, I shove a bunch of Brussels sprouts in the oven to roast. And so when you're done, you have roast, you have gravy, you have potatoes, you have Brussels sprouts, and yeah, it doesn't work out too bad. The only problem is that last time, I don't know that much about cuts of meat.
Uh-huh.
And so the cut of meat, like, when you get a roast, right? You like cook a roast in a crock pot or something like that.
Yeah.
The roast that I got was very, 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 very lean. It didn't have very much fat in it at all.
Oh, okay.
So it ended up being very dry. And like I had all this gravy, and I used the fuck out of that gravy because otherwise it was kind of inedible because I needed something. I think it was like a shoulder as opposed to like a different place where there's more marbling. I just need more fat. Like you got to have some fat in your meat, or else it's going to be just dry as shit.
Yes, this
In
is
fact,
very true. Actually,
that's the reason that flank steak used to be cheap as shit until fucking fucking white people. No, like, well, until chefs started learning that you could like season it and really cook the shit out of it and then make it like, I mean, beef fajitas are skirt steak, right?
Yeah, basically.
Flank steak. And skirt steak is a little bit worse, but I think. But like, you know,
it's been a while since I've really paid attention to it.
Flank steak, it's like, I have a flank steak recipe where it's like you just take flank steak and you take, it was a Worcestershire and some oil and some salt and some pepper and a few other things like I don't remember all the stuff that I've got. And you just marinate it in there. You just let it sit overnight, and then it'll, like all the salt and everything just starts breaking down the meat a little bit so that it's more tender. And you get done, you light up a grill, throw it in the grill, flip it over twice, make sure you cut it the right way. The worst thing is the first time I ever cooked fajita beef, I cut it the wrong way. So flank steak, you have to cut against the grain so that you get like these strips that pull apart very easily because you've got the grain. I cut with the grain, which means that you literally have to like hold a piece of it. It's like jerky and then yank it out of your mouth. But I don't know. I've actually been doing a lot of sandwich stuff recently. I think I might get back into that. Except that I switched from potato chips to tortilla chips because I can eat a lot of tortilla chips and it doesn't make me as ill as if I eat a lot of greasy potato chips. So
definitely helps.
Yep. Slot says, hello, Ragers. I know Rage Select has a funny history of dunking on music and bands people like. So let's spin the tables. What are songs and or bands that you love but most people don't?
I'm the wrong person to ask that on that one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I'm not really music inclined.
Yeah.
I guess my roommate fucking loves that stuff. Like, he's been listening, Mike Kroll is one that came up that he's been listening to a lot that I kind of like so far based on what he's listened to. Apparently, that guy had a song in Steven Universe at some point, too.
Okay.
So, good for that guy.
My life has been full of times when I liked music that other people do not like. Now I feel like we live in the internet, so it's hard to like throw a rock without finding a person who probably likes one of the things that you like.
Yeah.
So, but like when I was a teenager, starting in my early teens, my tweens, and then going all the way up until, I mean, I don't really listen to them anymore, but I really like They Might Be Giants.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, I like They Might Be Giants in like the grunge-filled alternative mid-90s when everybody was listening to fucking Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and like Nirvana. And I was like, I like They Might Be Giants. They're just like, get out of here. You get out of here with that. We're listening to punk rock and alternative. Don't bring your weird New York fucking concept band in over here. And I was just like, okay, I'll be listening to Flood over here. Bye.
I was really into Real Big Fish.
Oh, Real Big Fish is great. See, that's the thing is that, like, when I was younger, my friends all had very monolithic, like, they all liked the same music, and then I liked a bunch of different stuff. And nowadays, I feel like the people that I associate with, I'm just like, I mean, you know, like, pretty sure Jason is just, like, the biggest Real Big Fish fan. But, yeah, like, They Might Be Giants, I liked them a shitload, like, way more. I've seen them in concert, like, at least a dozen times over the years.
I listen to a lot of video game stuff.
Yeah.
A shit ton of it. And I've really been into covers of them.
Okay.
Like, I think I mentioned the Mariachi one.
Yeah.
That one. I love those guys a lot. And
I watched some of there with the weird, like, filming the video where everybody's playing in the same location and switching between them.
Yeah, because that's he films it mostly, like, or he records them mostly separately.
Yeah.
He's a very local guy for this area, too. He's in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
He went to Texas State.
Oh.
Everything. And one of the guys on there is a guy I went to high school with. But yeah, there's
cool.
The Mexican Entertainment System, I think the Mariachi Entertainment System, I think is the name of it. And they're great. I think they released a new album not too long ago, and they were at PAX not too long ago either.
There's actually a local band called the Descendants of Edric. That
yes, they're great too. Actually,
like metal covers of NES stuff, and then back in the day there was a band called the Mini Bosses.
Oh yeah,
they were great. I don't think they're still around anymore. I got to actually see them live one time. They were like, "This is our new one. This is Top Gun," and then they just started playing the NES Top Gun theme.
I think that Power Glove's another one like that.
Yeah,
that does metal. Like I saw them live, and they're like, "Yeah, this is the X-Men theme from the '90s cartoon."
Oh man, I was
like, "Yeah, let's do this."
I saw them live with Amanda and John, and I felt so old because they started playing the Pokemon theme.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like the only one who doesn't know all the words to the Pokemon song, and I was just like, "Oh shit, I'm in the wrong fucking place."
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I watched them at one of the San Japans, and yeah, the same thing happened. Everyone started singing it, and I was like, oh, I don't remember the song as well as everybody else does.
Honestly, though, right now, like a lot of the things that I would probably like that other people don't like is because everybody's trying to make a name for themselves online. I'm just like, I like Nicki Minaj. Like,
I don't think Nickelback's the worst thing in the world.
That I would not. I would disagree. No. You know what? I don't really know. I don't know anything about Nickelback.
There's like a song or two that I actually enjoyed from them. One of them, was on a Spider-Man soundtrack.
I actually just realized the other day that somebody in the Slack when we first opened it up turned me on to what Neil Cicierega.
No idea.
You know who that is? Okay, so I actually watched. There's a guy that does a YouTube series called like Fallen Titans or something like that, talking about like YouTube channels that got big and then they like fucked themselves. They went on like Channel Awesome or whatever. And then he had one episode that was like Unfallen Titans. So the guy on Slack, I'm sorry, dude, I can't remember your name, was telling me that I should listen to this Neil Cicierega, and it's like these weird mashup things. But this guy has been around on the internet.
Oh, I think you showed this to me, actually.
He wrote the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
Oh,
you remember that
okay.
old
on
New Guys? And then he made the Potter Puppet Pals, which was apparently wildly popular. But like I watched a few of his videos. There's one that's just called Cheers, and it's the beginning of the Cheers song. But you know how at the beginning there's the piano and it's like dun 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 dun, dun and then it steps down a key and it's like dun 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 dun. But then he just steps it down another key, and he keeps stepping it down while the intro is playing. And then it's so low, it's like breaking your speakers. And that's when the title comes up, and it just goes, Cheers. There's another one that was like,
oh, God.
Called Everybody Pants Now, where it was this guy that was like singing Everybody Dance Now, but he was saying pants, and he would just point at people and they would just turn into pants and then float down to the ground. He's been doing this shit forever. Like, look him up. And then he reminded me of a band that I don't know that many people may or may not know about called Girl Talk, that does these like really awesome mashups of like 80s.
See that one you showed me.
Yeah, 80s and rap music, like modern hip hop and 80s covers, or like 80s popular songs. In any case, yeah. All right, well, we got time for a few more, so let's run through these. This one seems like it's addressed to me from Chelly. It says, Dear Jeff and Michael, are you satisfied with where Rage Select is right now? I remember a while back there was concern about not making enough through Patreon, that Jeff considered taking a break from the site, but now it seems to be doing much better. Personally, I love Rage Select in its current state since it feels professional, but also very personal. It's my first time writing in, so please be gentle, longtime fan. P.S. Does Jeff ever feel weird being the only puppet in the room? Does he feel self-conscious about it? Also, would it be considered offensive to assume that he grew up on 123 Sesame Street? Yes!
There
Jeff
are other
Puppet
places.
Grew up on Avenue Q. No.
He hung out with Greg the Bunny. That's what's going on with it.
Yeah, it's an intern with the Feebles. So the thing is that Rage Select isn't making like a shitload of money. I'm still kind of adjusting to it a little bit. Like the merch has helped us quite a bit. I'm probably going to be trying to change our Patreon structure a little bit soon. I've got some really solid ideas for ways to make new, because the $5 Discord tier really kind of gave us a boost, and I need to be a little bit more active in the Discord. I'm not always there every day, but like I have some ideas for a couple of new tiers of higher stuff that will hopefully bolster it a little bit. I also have been thinking about taking like a week when there's a really popular game out, and I'm really sorry to say this, especially from a Patreon question, turning ads back on. I think that YouTube might be suppressing my videos because I literally don't monetize them, which like I can't entirely fault them for, because I'm making them store, upload, and serve up my content to like thousands of people, and I'm not giving them a fucking red cent for it.
I guess that's fair.
Because I mean, Rage Select has 12,000 subscribers, and if we break 1,000 hits on a video, it's like a good day. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's people not getting it. It would have been weird to me if people were unsubscribing from the channel. Like I would understand that, but like the idea that we've got that many subscribers, but that people, I mean, a lot of people have said to me over the years that maybe we shouldn't put out as much content. I've thought about doing that. It's weird and counterproductive, because like the people that are hardcore fans of Rage Select, they want to watch everything, But it's also possible that, there's so many things on YouTube for people to watch. It's like, here comes another Rage Select video. Well, I don't really care all that much about Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, which actually that one did very well. That one did very well. But like, maybe I don't care about Borderlands or the Assassin's Creed or like part 2 of Yoshi's Crafted World, which I just did all that intro work on those.
That intro is amazing, people.
Is that I have thought about reducing the number of videos that we put out because it made, like, so many people, even patrons, people in the Discord have told me, I literally can't watch your videos. You put out too fucking many of them. You put out 10 videos and 30-minute videos on a podcast every week. And then the world is also full of other things, Jeffrey, that would like my attention. So I don't know.
It also doesn't help that every time I play a game with him, it's not half an hour.
Well, but see, that's the thing, is that it does that. I do that with a lot of people. Like Amanda and I tend to go over 40 minutes almost every time. Matt and I tend to edge up at 40 minutes. Like it's more than a half hour unless it's Jason, because Jason's got like a stopwatch of when the bell rings, we're fucking done. Like
that's when he turns back into a pumpkin.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, I need to do some more work. The main thing right now is that I did the taxes, and I don't have anywhere near the money to pay my taxes. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened last year, but apparently I just turned into a crazy person. So we're going to have to do some fundraisers. I'm going to figure that out. I have some ideas. In fact, there's a thing that I'm going to do later tonight after you and I are done here as a weird test.
Is it a Pizzone?
What's that?
Is it a Pizzone?
It's a Pizzone. I'm going to make a Pizzone. I'm going to make it in my Instant
People
Pot.
love calzones.
No, they don't. The calzone zone. It's the low-calorie calzone zone. Okay, let's zip through some of these. Matt writes in and says, Jeff and Michael, it's been a while since I wrote a question in the podcast. I wanted to ask a question and to say thanks. The thanks we had back in September to let our beloved cat go. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh.
He hated people and would never even try and see people if they came over unless we watched Rage Select. What? He loved to hang out and watch the show, listen to your podcast in the car. Even in his last few days, he wouldn't calm down until I had the podcast on the car speakers as we went to the vet. What? I'm not even a cat guy. I'm a dog guy. So thank you, Jeff, and the Rage Select team for helping us in this sad time. No problem. Here's my question. I'm looking at having to spend a few days resting and recovering from a minor procedure. Not big, but need a day or 3 to rebound. When I had my wisdom teeth pulled. When I had my wisdom teeth pulled, I watched your full playthrough of Bulletstorm. Now I have a PlayStation, thanks to your recommendations. I've decided to pass the time by ordering Red Dead 2, and we'll start working through the game while I'm on the couch, thanks to your playthrough with Jason. So if you have to have one game to pass 3 or 4 days with, what is that game? And I know already Jeff is saying Dark Souls. Thanks for the content. As always, glad to see Patreon donation hit each month to help you out. Everyone out there that doesn't donate, stop being freeloaders and help these great folks at Rage Select out. I didn't say that. I didn't even add that. P.S. That's a personal note. Loyal fan, and that's from Matt. So, like, okay, you got 3 days on the couch. Let's assume 8-hour days, right? So you got about 20 hours, 24 hours worth of laying on the couch, and you want to play a game in that particular time.
Is it just one? He said one game?
He said, so if you have to have one game to pass 3 or 4 days with, what is that game? See, what I'm assuming is that he's a new PlayStation user who doesn't have that many games, and what he's asking for is a recommendation of something to zoom in on. I'll tell you what, man, like, this isn't really fair, but you might think about, if you haven't already played these games, about either grabbing like the BioShock collection or like the Arkham collection, like one of those, and just go play those. But
First off, definitely would have been part of the answer, or maybe.
Let me just say that like every single game we've ever played for a sequential fits into this category. All right, so Doom 2016, Hitman 2016. Resident Evil 7, The Evil Within 2.
Yeah.
Alan Wake is a good. Well, you can't play Alan Wake on the PlayStation, but like, there's plenty of games out there that are going to fit into that category. God of War, you might be able to do in 24 hours. That's the latest. Or Spider-Man.
I did that with Spider-Man, actually. Yeah, when Spider-Man first came out, I played for like 3 days straight.
Yeah,
and I didn't.
That's a good one.
I was supposed to do so many fucking errands in that time frame. And before I knew it, I hadn't showered in 3 days. And my roommate's like, "Where have you been?" And I was just like,
Spider-Man.
Saving the world.
Spider-Man.
Oh, God.
Spider-Man.
And then I had to go to work. And then I still hadn't finished the game by that point. Because I was doing everything. I mean, fucking everything.
Yeah, I mean, like those are definitely ones that work. I'm just gonna put this for all time.
I think Persona 5 would be pretty fun to like actually have that kind of time.
You can't do that. It's if Persona 4 or Persona 5 clocks in at like 60 or 70 hours.
Yeah, but just having that chunk of time to give me, like, I wouldn't mind that.
Okay, I'm just looking at like the straight up best games on the PlayStation 4. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I could tell you Bloodborne, but you're not going to finish Bloodborne in 24 hours your first time through, or Dark Souls or Sekiro or any of those games, right? Like, I'm not going to recommend those because those games, I mean, Sekiro took me 35 hours of my first time through. So, but here's some stuff that's just from Metacritic's top PS4 games. GTA 5. You could probably get through in around 30 hours.
Yeah.
The Last of Us Remastered, if you haven't played that, that's a good one that'll get you through. That one's a little bit long, probably 25 hours-ish. Get out of here, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
That game's fun to play, at least.
You have a 93 on Metacritic? I thought that after we all got over the sticker shock. Anyway, let's see. No. Shadow of the Colossus Remaster. I mean, that's a pretty good one. Resident Evil.
The Spyro remake.
Oh, yeah, all three of those.
Spyro remake, the Crash Bandicoot remake.
Resident Evil 2 remake actually would work really well as well.
Horizon.
You could pick something like Overwatch if you just want to play online.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, is pretty good.
Yeah, that would work. Let's see. Titanfall 2 is on this list, but Titanfall 2 is like 6 hours long.
It's super short.
Maybe 5.
Like some of the fighting game stuff is pretty short too, like Injustice 2.
Yeah, I thought when we played Injustice 2, we did a full playthrough. I thought it was and it was like 4 episodes, and we were done. And
it's a really short story. I think Injustice 1's longer than 2.
Not like Mortal Kombat 9. That game goes on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, the Devil May Cry 5, I think, is pretty good for that.
It's about
same
12
with its
hours.
re-release.
Yeah,
for the first 3. As well as 4.
Man, I tell you what, if you haven't played Spider-Man, put Spider-Man in. Like,
absolutely,
that's the perfect game to play, just like sitting on the couch for hours on end.
It's so good, especially if it's your first time playing it, because holy fuck.
Yeah, Nathan Drake collection, you get that for cheap.
That and Uncharted 4 you can also get for pretty cheap too.
Yeah. I'm looking at stuff here that would work, because I mean, there's stuff
Grand
in
Theft Auto 5 would be pretty good for that.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
sorry.
I started when I was going down this list. I started with that.
Life is Strange.
Maybe it just depends on whether you're. I tell you what, the Yakuzas. You could do Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami. Yakuza Kiwami would actually kind of be perfect almost for that, because by the time you get through that amount of time, like the thing about Yakuza Kiwami is that I feel like a lot of people might punch out early because they get bored in the early game. But if you're just like sitting on the couch and fucking chillaxing, you don't have anywhere to be. Like you're not literally eating into your life to play this game. And then by the time you get through 15 hours of Yakuza, you're gonna be like, "Fuck! Kiryu Kasama is the greatest video game character of all time."
I think the Fist of the North Star game is great that way too. The one that they made, I actually really, really like that game. As you get far enough, you're just, I just want to make people explode for like an hour, and it's the best. Oh my god!
I need to get you and Joe to do a review of that.
That game was so fucking good. I think I accidentally convinced Joe to get it.
I think if you want to have Infinity, I think this last week they just put out. If you want infinity amounts of video games, I think that this last week they put out the consolidated Kingdom Hearts set. That's all of them.
Fuck me
all
sideways.
Of them.
You'll never get through them all.
You will never get through them all.
Deus
Ex Mankind Divided, that would work.
Both Hitmans.
Mm-hmm.
I think those would be great.
See, Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 are great because they're variable, right? You can beat Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 in about 16 hours, but like you really just want to dig in and like see all the stuff.
The Ezio collection for Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
pretty good.
I could probably say Black Flag before I said that.
Well, I think those with the Ezio one, you get 3 games. So
yeah,
Black Flag is pretty good. Some of the Lego games aren't too bad.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there.
There's a lot of games. There's actually quite a bit.
Yeah,
but Spider-Man is actually my answer, though, in general.
Spider-Man's a really good answer.
I spent time just web swinging for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's so calming.
I'd say Spider-Man, Hitman, or Spider-Man, God of War.
Spider-Man, Hitman, Batman. Three mans.
Yeah. Anyway.
Done.
All right, thanks, Matt. Let's see. This one comes in from Angie. Angie says, "Howdy, lords and ladies of rage. I've been thinking about the past a little this week, just taking a trip down memory lane to look at where I've been and how far I've come. There was a period of time in 2014 where I was mired in deep depression, and one of the things that helped me get out of bed every morning was the Mass Effect series. Sounds strange, I know. On really bad days, I would say, Commander Shepard can fight and defeat the Reapers, so you can make it through this day. I actually think that thought process and mantra helped me stay alive. So my question is as follows. Has there been a form of media that acted as a lifeline to you during hard times? Something that inspired you to keep going when nothing else would? If so, what was it and how did it help you? A little personal, I know, but I'd love to hear your answer. Keep being awesome." And that's from Angie.
Easy. Also, technically, the last answer. The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not the movie, the fucking character itself. That character has gotten me through so much of my life. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that, he's the most personal superhero on the planet, and for a good reason. Because I'm constantly like, Spider-Man, his life fucking sucks 90% of the time, but he still gets up to save the day. And that's exactly what I have to do every day.
Okay.
So that's pretty much how I get through my days sometimes. The same with Superman. It's like would Superman be disappointed in me if I didn't get up today? Probably. So let's get the fuck up today.
I have a lot. It's weird. Weirdly personal note, but like I've been kind of battling a resurgence of my own kind of depression recently. A lot of it was that before I got into a relationship, I like had my depression kind of under control, and by very much just suppressing all of my emotions. Got in a relationship, my emotions started coming out, then broke up. Now my emotions are all in turmoil. Like I was like on Rage Select, angrily yelling at people in comments while drunk, and then like yelling at my friends while drunk a few times. And like I haven't done that shit in years. I used to do it all the time, and I got that shit under control. But it's weird. This is very weird. All right, listen.
No, it's okay.
I know how this is going to sound, but there's a video online from there's this guy called the Pruld, the Pruld, and he's a foreign guy who makes Dark Souls machinima.
Really?
And it's mostly comedy. He makes machinima for a bunch of different things, but there's also this woman whose name I forget, and she has this song called "Still Alive." Her name is Christina Perry, and it's a kind of a breakup pop song. And it has this refrain at the very end of the song called "This is not the end of me. This is the beginning." And she just says that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so the Pruld made this weird video that you can find called like "We Are Dark Souls" or "We Are Souls" that is kind of retelling Dark Souls 1 while this song about like picking yourself up after like defeat. And then when she's talking about defeat in the music, they're showing like the character in here getting stabbed. And then like there's a scene that I absolutely love. I actually downloaded this because for a while they took it off of YouTube, but he made all this in Source Filmmaker. But there's like there's an excellent scene of them fighting like Ornstein and Smo where the main character gets like stabbed from behind. Not this part, but there's a part here where the main character gets stabbed from behind, and then he like slumps forward, and then it's just like back to the bonfire where you respawn in the game. So like there's a whole thing with Dark Souls about continuing to move forward in the face of this kind of despair, and it's one of the things I like about that series. And this particular song is definitely one of my like, yeah, I'm feeling bad, but like you just like that refrain, "This is not the end of me, this is only the beginning," is like something that I try to keep in mind. Also, there's that quote about, well, first off, if you ever need it, go watch the Rocky Balboa.
Yeah,
when he gives that speech, man, you can't help but watch that.
It also sold Xbox Ones for some reason. I worked at Target; they play that quote all the time.
Yeah,
but actually, it's funny because there was another answer I had besides BoJack Horseman, because BoJack Horseman was great for letting me deal with my emotions.
Yeah,
because it's just watching a sad horse, but you also are with him the whole way through.
Yeah.
One of my answers is kind of funny because of the fact that everyone's always like, never give up. My answer is also the Green Arrow.
Okay.
Because when I was I don't remember how like I was there was a chunk of time where I was really depressed. I was living at my parents' house. I'd fucked up a bunch of times like that caused me to essentially be living at my parents' house for a while. And I started reading the Green Arrow around that time because one day I was just like, I'm going to start reading something new. And I think he came into my life at a perfect time.
Yeah.
Because the fun thing about the Green Arrow is he's one of the few superheroes that's like, fuck it, I'm out every now and then. Like, he's one of the few people that actually will give the fuck up.
Right.
Because he's just like, this shit's too hard. Like, I just shot a kid with an arrow kind of thing. Like fuck, like shit like that. Like, he's legitimately like, I found him more relatable than any DC character at the time because it was one of the few times where like a character's like, look, shit will get hard sometimes, and it's perfectly acceptable to just give the fuck up for a little bit. It's like, it's perfectly fine because eventually you'll come back, everything will be fine, and then you'll just get right back up on that horse. Like, it's just what it is.
Yep.
And I was one of those things. Like, there's very few superheroes out there. Like, as much as I love Spider-Man, Spider-Man, he also gives up constantly.
Yeah.
Almost the same way. And that's why I think those two are so relatable because it's very much, it's never just like it's telling you it's okay to feel hurt.
Yes.
And that's what I think is great about those two characters more than anything. And I think they both have been constants in my life since I started reading Spider-Man and the Green Arrow. Superman's great for, inspiration. I'll watch Superman the movie if I'm feeling depressed.
Right.
That movie will just make me happy, like immediately. Like I remember when I was working for Sam's Club, I was like really sad one day, and I found out they were showing the 35 millimeter at the Draft House.
Oh yeah.
And I was fucking happy for like a week straight after that because I watched it and I was just so good. Like I remember one of my coworkers was like, "I've never seen you this happy before."
Yeah.
I was like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I watched Superman the movie on a big screen." He's like, "You should do that again." I'm like, "I should."
Not to keep repeating myself, but to go back to what we were talking at the very beginning of this show, it's just like, I think, and I know that you agree with me, you're like my super bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, I think Superman's important, and I think that having a naive Boy Scout who's got the power of a god to be like, just do the right thing, I'm Superman. I think that's an important thing, and I think that you're never too cool to be like, I like Superman.
He makes such a difference. I think one of my favorite moments in Superman is I don't even remember what the context was. There was a point where for some reason people weren't sure if Superman was Superman.
Yeah.
And like at one point a bunch of people were captured or something and he's with them all. And like there's like a supervillain there and everything. He's like, "Look, I need your help to take care of this thing. If you don't do it, I will die when I jump down there or whatever."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, why are you you're trusting me on this, but I'm also a fucking supervillain."
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that? And he's just like, "'Cause we have to." Like, if trust is very much about each other. And he's like, "And look, and here's the thing is I trust you." And he jumps down, and everybody around him is like, "Yeah, that's fucking Superman." Like they're all just like whoever like didn't believe, they're like, "That's fucking him." Like it's the end of story. Motherfucker believes in us. Yeah. And he's just like, "Come on, guys." Yeah. And you need that. Like, and that's I like to tell my friends that all the time. Is just like, look, if you think no one's thinking about you, I'm thinking about you right fucking now. Yeah. Like that's just the thing is like I believe in you the same way Superman will believe in you, and I will tell that to the audience too. I believe in you the same way he would.
Sometimes, if that's a little, sometimes that sentiment could be a little sappy in my head. Is I'll go back to what's his face in Gurren Lagann, who's like, "Don't believe in yourself, believe in the me that believes in you."
I love that line a lot. That line actually gets me through a lot too. Actually, yeah. Kamina was a very, very inspirational dude.
Yep. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end up this podcast. Mail at rageselect.com is the email address. Keep sending your questions in, and we'll keep answering them. Michael, when you are not over here recording Rage Select, where are you on the internet?
You can find me on oneofus.net, as well as sometimes Geek Bombast with John Sutton.
All right. And I think it's Bazone time, right?
Yes. Well, they're probably all closed right now, but I'll get one tomorrow.
Well, that's all right. We'll break in. It'll be fine.